than Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney. I don't even know how you justify that.
I guess the only thing you look at is Penn State was in such a bad spot. Bill O'Brien kind of Band-Aided it together. And then this is a guy that won the Big Ten. The Big Ten's loaded outside of the SEC best conference. You go back to his Vanderbilt days, although he really didn't beat anybody, still was winning 9 games. Vanderbilt's now lost 20 consecutive SEC games.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a flyer on Lane Kiffin.
Oh, I hope.
That'd be fascinating.
I'll take a flyer on Lane Kiffin. Brandon Marcello, our friend, thinks it'll be Billy Napier, or he should be the coach. A carousel that we will continue with them and USC all the way deep into the football season. Looking forward to college football returning tomorrow night. Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State as they go tomorrow night on ESPN. That's our show today. We appreciate you being a part of it as you watched us today on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Twitter. Don't forget, you can download any part of the show, hour by hour, or specific segments or interview, and on Spotify, iTunes, Odyssey, and our chats right there, and also our podcast, and Alexa, the smart devices where you can enable it to give you the next round 24 hours a day. We're back with you tomorrow, live 9 Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
There's a battle flag that was raised in you, buried in the dark. There's an open road, and it's pulling you out from where you are. So hold on to and carry it. Headlights burn wide, guide me through the night. Foresight, remind me not to turn these tides. There's a path ahead, and it's calling you out from where you are. So realize and wear it all.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll get to the drama on the diamond coming up in this opening segment. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, and Forrester all in our Blue Lake studio high atop the Blue Lake Center. The next round presented by our friends at Bud Light, Birmingham Racecourse and Casino Studio. And today we'll talk a lot of football too, because football's back tonight, college football, and it's a good one. It's Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. This is on the App State campus in Boone, North Carolina, right? Little cool temperatures in the mountains. It should be a good atmosphere tonight.
Beautiful campus. Have you guys ever been on that campus?
I have not. I wanted my daughter to check it out. I've heard it's incredible, though.
That is one of my favorite parts of the country. My wife and I have spent a considerable amount of time in the North Carolina mountains right there and over in Asheville, which is a great town.
Right.
If you've never been to Asheville, you've been to Asheville.
I've been to Asheville a couple of times.
Really
yeah.
cool town. An eclectic town now. It's kind of an artsy town.
It's my kind of town.
Oh, is it? You like
Yeah.
the arts, do you?
I'm a little
Smell
weird.
weed on a Tuesday walking down the street?
You can.
You see a lot of
100%.
things
Yeah.
walking down the streets of Asheville. Great restaurant scene in Asheville. Phenomenal food there.
Good
But,
music scene.
Yeah, it is. But Boone is a beautiful location.
Yeah, so a little chill in the air, so good football tonight, and you can catch that starting at 6:30 on ESPN. You think there's an upset tonight. In our little game yesterday, you said first chance
Yeah.
of Coastal to lose would be tonight against Appalachian State. Boy, App State will have to flip around. They had a horrible showing on national TV
They
last
did.
week against
Horrible.
Louisiana.
4 turnovers, 0 for 11 on third downs?
Yeah,
I would put that in horrible.
Yeah, that's why that's one thing I'm counting on here. It's just the odds of a bunch of teams going undefeated are very, very low. We see this every year. That's why I think you got to look for chances for teams to lose. And when you see a quality program like Appalachian State that had an awful showing a week ago, they're not going to have that showing back-to-back weeks. Coastal Carolina is not likely to go undefeated based on the odds. I'm just playing it that
I agree
way.
with you. And I said yesterday I thought Appalachian State would win this game, too. They're catching points. Coastal Carolina is number 14. They were the first team to become bowl eligible 2 weeks. They haven't played in 2 weeks since dominating Arkansas State. They've won 11 consecutive Sun Belt games right now. But going back to last year when they beat Appalachian State, that was their first win ever over the Mountaineers in 7 tries.
A little payback tonight?
I think a little payback tonight. I think this will be a really, really good game. Might even have a lock on this coming up. Still trying to figure that out because we've got a slew of baseball, basketball, a lot of different things going on.
I would tell you, though, when you look at your Week 8 TV schedule, is it fair to say it's probably the least inspiring TV schedule of the week, even though LT says a bloodbath is coming? If you don't know if you don't know a bloodbath is coming, you just look at the marquee games, not the slate we used to the first 7 weeks.
Can I tell you that about once a football season, I look at the early slate and say, you know what? You know what I'm going to do Saturday morning? I'm going to go play 18 holes of golf.
Wow, so you're going to skip out on game day and the 11 o'clock and make it home for the 2:30 window.
But you know what I generally find happens when I do that? You do get some upsets. Like those Saturdays, and I do it about once a year. I say, God, this 11 o'clock slate is so bad. The weather is so nice. I'm going to play golf and just get home for the 2:30 slate. And I generally do it when Alabama or Auburn has a bye. That way I'm generally not missing one of those games. And that's the case this week. But I'm telling you, man, I think I remember when I do this, there have been some unexpected upsets in that 11 o'clock window.
Can I throw this out? I think we could see 8 unranked beat ranked teams this week. And I don't know if that would be the most ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because you got 2 where the unranked is actually a significant favorite.
Yeah, and Dunaway and
that
I've
you
got a
bet
stake on that
yeah.
game, and that's Oregon going to UCLA, the Rose Bowl, to take on the Bruins, and then that's the other game was Iowa State hosting Oklahoma State. But there are 6 other games that I have eyed that there is a good possibility the unranked team beats the ranked team.
But to Brown being on the golf course when some of this may happen, there doesn't seem to be a playoff-changing loss in that 11 o'clock window.
No.
Illinois and Penn State, I mean, we got Brett Bielema later in the show throwing his entire roster under the bus. How he doesn't lose that locker room, no clue. Northwestern, they can't mount up the Chicagoans and go and rattle Michigan,
no
can
chance. I mean, I can quickly give you these 6 of them.
Well,
no way Oklahoma goes
not
into
in
sleep,
Kansas.
beat
No way.
KU and
No.
falls asleep.
Nope.
Could Navy
Nope.
circle the ships
Nope.
and beat Cincy? No.
No.
So that
That's on
early
land. That game's on land.
that early window doesn't offer the the upset that would shake up the playoff
Well,
race.
not that Wake's in the playoff, but I think one of Lance's is an 11 o'clock
Yes.
game, Army at Wake. Wake is not a playoff contender, though.
Yeah,
I know they're
I think
undefeated.
Wake is going to have a lot of trouble with that Army offense.
Had a week to prepare, week off. That helps.
It does help. And Dave Clawson is a really good coach.
Yep.
Week off. I heard an interview driving back from Starkville that he talked about how, the week off was designed in the schedule because Army's a tough team to prepare for. You can't take a full week off of football like we like to in a bye week with Army out there. So they've spent a lot of time on that. But I could see where that's precarious. Clemson and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh can virtually clinch their division with a win over the Clemson Tigers this weekend, and Pittsburgh's favored, where Clemson had been favored, I think, 62 straight regular season games.
48 straight. Well, 48 against ACC opponents. The last time they were an underdog, you guys will remember this game. It was in 2016 when they played Louisville, who was number 3, and Lamar Jackson. It came down to a final play.
Last time they were a regular season underdog?
Yeah.
Against an ACC team. So Pittsburgh's favored in this one, ending that streak.
But
just
that was one of my 8.
Yeah, you just look at the standings. Pitt can lock things up this weekend and book their ticket to Charlotte with a win over Clemson.
And I wonder, even though Clemson is not our standard Clemson here this year, I wonder if in this game, Kenny Pickett might can get in the New York discussion as well.
Yeah, I think he will.
This
Brown.
kid's having a heck of a season.
Well, I say that. Look, I think Clemson is going to win this game, at least, early look. But if Pittsburgh does win this game and Kenny Pickett puts up numbers against that defense, yeah, he is going to be in the discussion.
Well, you mentioned Air Force over San Diego State was one that
That's
can
another
happen.
one.
Altitude game for San Diego State, leaving the perfect weather of San Diego.
What's that mean, Jim?
I went a little Dracula on you there.
San Diego.
San Diego.
One California city.
So we'll talk more about the upsets, our upset alerts, a little bit later today. We'll throw some out. I feel like you've got them all dialed in already.
Yeah, well, most of them are so close around the number.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any super upsets like we had last week with Purdue over Iowa, but I think there's legitimately 8 unranked teams that can beat ranked teams this week, and it would not shock me. I think we'll have 5 or 6 of these. We're going to have some chaos this weekend.
In our Formfolio chat room over there, Tripp throws out 6 that he likes real quickly. Wisconsin, Iowa State, UCLA, App State, Army, and Air Force.
Yep, I agree with all of them.
Okay,
Wisconsin will beat Purdue this week.
You got 6 of the 8 right there, Tripp. Way to go, man. All right, we'll jump into baseball and what happened yesterday after I tell you about the great folks at the Alabama Men's Clinic. There's a game most of you guys never want to be out of, and if you're suffering from an ED problem right now, the Alabama Men's Clinic right here in Birmingham is there to help out. Many different causes of ED, like a heart condition, diabetes, a reaction to medication, or simply low testosterone. The Alabama Men's Clinic staff will find the problem, and some of you will be back in the game the day after your first appointment. Set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000, 205-598-7000, or go to the website alabamamensclinic.com. Different variety of ways you can be treated there, and it's all private and really professional setup there. Get rid of the depression in your life, the anxiety, and find that new connection with that special person in your life. One play away, one call away. It's the Alabama Men's Clinic, 205-598-7000, alabamamensclinic.com. Braves were up 5-2 yesterday, and phones started to ring of Dodger fans that I know.
I cannot believe this, by the way.
Yeah,
I've heard 2 accounts of Dodgers fans that this happened to.
Like, I haven't even reached out to. I've got some really, really good Braves fans that talk so much, and if I could read the thread, I can't. I know we can, but I'm not going to. But just what we can. What they were talking this morning, and they try to stir me up, and I don't know how a Braves fan does that coming off what was a complete collapse, because if you win that game last night, what I was doing was going back and I sent my brother Reed, who's a bigger Dodger fan than I am. I sent him a text when they were down 3 going into the 7th, and I said, just going back through the season, we've won 4+. We've gone on 4-game winning streaks plus 11 times this season. So the Dodgers can still, going down 3-0, they can become the second team to ever do this in the postseason. Because I thought that game was over.
Yeah, so 5-2 Braves. What inning was it where the Braves fan in question sent you a text?
I'll tell you the time.
I mean, it's probably 7th inning.
I think it was 6th or 7th inning. and I'll give you the quote. You guys can continue to talk.
I can't believe a Braves fan would do this, Dunaway. And you mentioned it. I have another Braves fan other than Lance that told me the same thing, that Braves fans, or Dodgers fan other than Lance, that Braves fans were getting chirpy via text.
Well, I'm not gonna comment exactly on the series. I would say historically, Atlanta sports, whether it be a Super Bowl meltdown of historic proportion or anything else, there's some history there.
Well, I mean, I would think a Braves fan, a lifelong, real dyed-in-the-wool Braves fan, would never chirp in a series until the final pitch. I mean, I think you've learned enough. I think you've seen this happen enough.
I think you're a guy that doesn't really believe in superstitions, but there is something to Georgia, to the Braves, to certain organizations.
Falcons.
The Falcons.
Basically every Atlanta franchise or Georgia's.
The Cleveland Browns. But,
Yeah.
Okay, so it was at 7:19 last night, and here's what I got, and you guys know this guy.
Okay.
Not only is he a Braves fan, he is
Right.
a Georgia Bulldogs fan.
Right. Interesting combo.
Just out of the blue.
By the way,
I haven't talked to this guy in months.
Falcons fan too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My grandma effing spelled it out. Hated Tommy Lasorda. Called him Tommy Lasoda. You can tell he's been drinking.
That's good. That's funny.
Tell me the soda because he drinks a lot of sodas. Right?
Anyway,
Yeah, that's good.
I love watching our team beat your team. And then I said, don't get too confident. This is the absolute worst baseball this team has played the entire year. And remember, your Braves are effing, I spelled it out, hexed. 99% of the time this series is over. But again, it's Atlanta, so there's still a pulse. Hope you're good.
Please tell me
he
you chirped
sends
back.
back, I get it, but I feel great about 3-0.
What Braves fan would do that?
I have no idea.
I'm just telling you, you cannot put this on me. There's no way.
You've been silent. I will tell you.
Yeah.
And I almost did tweet out in the middle of the game trying to bait you into a stake when they were down 3 runs to get something to go. And I'm not wearing this to bait Braves fans at all. I told Brown that I was going to wear this today down 3-0 to try to get you to bet a stake. Still willing to bet a stake with the Braves up 2-1.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Dunaway won't even say Braves.
This is all on the Atlanta fans who getting really cocky calling you and
Well, 2 things. Okay, so you guys go back to the 4th inning. Gavin Lux, who shouldn't be playing center field. Bellinger should be in center. Max Muncy gets hurt on the final day of the regular season against the Brewers, so he's thrown out there his 10th start in center field. Sun was a little bit of a problem. He glances away once he hits the track just to gauge where the wall is. Typically, as an outfielder, you find the wall with that hand once you're on that warning track.
exactly the way you're taught.
So he glances away. Once he looks back up, he loses it, hits glove. That's where the unraveling started. So after that, Jock Peterson comes up. That is a third strike 99.9% of the time. How you miss that call, I don't understand. And that was the moment where it unravels and they go for a 4 spot in the 4th.
Red Sox fans say, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, really.
But you know, that call was bad. But you know, when they start to, and I know we're getting way too analytical when we talk baseball, but when you've got that graph on the strikes, they said that that's only a strike 23% of the time on that missed call. This was like 97% of the time. So a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, because right field, the sun was an issue.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Jock Peterson lost
Well,
one to the sun, and he's played out there before, right? When he was with the Dodgers.
It was an issue. Well, Mookie Betts lost one too.
Yeah.
It was an issue, and this is just kind of that time of day, and it is weird. You brought this up on Monday. Why they're playing that matinee game at Dodger Stadium?
Because they flip it. Because now they've got the late game, and Boston-Houston has the early game. They flip it for the network, so one gets prime time, one has to do the afternoon game.
But anytime you play an afternoon game at Dodger Stadium, you get that shadow, and it starts, almost in left field, left center, and it slowly goes away. And it kind of, and by the end of the 7th or 8th inning, it's completely
It was a
out.
real problem.
Remember, we played the bubble playoffs last year, and a lot of games were played out in California, and a lot of them were doing the twilight time, and it becomes a problem. It was last year. So we go back to baseball tonight in prime time, 7 o'clock in that series, with your team up 2-1. And just your voice sounds very energetic today, like you feel like you're in a good spot.
Well, look, I mean, that's one of those that, if you're able to come back and win, I can't tell you how excited I was last night. I'm sure Dodger fans all over the place, Braves fans probably just.
That's a good time to tell your story right here, because I think Rockstar would get a kick out of
I couldn't believe this either.
your airspace story.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a true story,
Now
Rockstar.
listen to this, Rockstar. You think I'm weird, Rockstar? Listen to this.
I think we're all weird.
Yeah,
No,
but listen to this.
I'm pretty normal.
I think we are. Will Smith gets on, and so Dodgers end up getting 2 on in the bottom of the 8th. And when Bellinger comes to the plate, you've been to my basement before, but I've got some fixtures that hang down. Well, I'd been pacing all over the place, but I had a feeling Bellinger was going to hit a home run, so I made sure to check space above my head because I didn't want to jump and hit the light fixture.
But before the at bat, he's clearing his airspace above him.
That's right.
In case he gets excited and jumps up.
Let me get somewhere where I can jump clear.
Yeah,
I watched the game with you tonight.
No. I've taken off trivia. Brown is going to pinch hit for me tonight.
Yeah, we
I
got
did this a
trivia.
couple
Can
of
we
days
all
ago.
watch what game 6
I
together?
watched.
You don't wanna watch it with me.
And I don't know that the Dodgers are the same, Rockstar. I watched a half of a Rams game with Lance once. That's an intense situation.
You know, it's not fun either. And you can ask the roommate. It's not enjoyable until the game's over. Like Rams this past weekend, game was over at halftime. It's enjoyable. Dodgers not enjoyable until actually Mookie Betts actually hit the go-ahead double.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going nuts with the Bellinger thing, but I did clear headspace because I had a feeling he was going to hit that. And it's hard to believe because we're talking about a guy that hit 165 in the regular season, and the pitch was 4.5 feet off the plate. And when you talk about velocity, nobody has gone yard in that situation since 2008. It was really miraculous. Ron Darling was talking about on the broadcast. Luke Jackson is in shock because how you hit that ball out of the ballpark is nearly impossible.
From Folio chat room, Nick says, I took the dog out and couldn't watch the Bellinger at bat.
Oh, no.
He literally walked the
He
dog.
knew what was happening.
Justin wants to know what's on your bar menu tonight. What will you drink as you watch your Dodgers?
So last night it was just it was a bunch of Stellas, and then after the game to relax and watch. And by the way, I told you I was going to have to watch The Bachelor. We agreed that we would only watch parts that he was in, and so I got to fast forward. Yeah,
Rockstar, would you love to have heard these sales? Because I have seen Lance grind people down.
It was
like
a 2-hour episode of The Bachelor. I think it was 2 hours. But I checked my clock. I got to watch 14 minutes of it. It was perfect.
So you would shuttle through.
Oh, yeah.
She can't watch the episode. You just shuttle through his parts.
No, we'd see him pop up, and then we'd have to go back.
We've
but it was
lived through
14
these
total minutes.
negotiations. You've heard Lance negotiate this kind of. Let me explain how this is going to work for both of us. That line was used.
No, I mean, like,
But I told her, I'm not getting anything out of this.
Because listen, roommate, you want to watch Succession.
That's right.
We can only do that here.
She loves Succession. She does. But I told her, I said, would you be watching The Bachelor or Bachelorette? I don't even know which one it is. Which one is it?
Bachelorette.
Bachelorette.
The Bachelorette. I said, would you be watching this if your cousin was not on it? And she said, no, probably not.
Okay,
And I said, well, then,
good.
Look, let's just watch parts that he's on.
Yes.
And so we watched
I
the
know.
14 minutes. He got a rose. Then I got to relax, watch Succession with a glass of wine. So it was beer.
got
up
a
until
rose?
then. He did get a rose.
So he's still
You get to
around.
watch it next
He's
week.
around. And I'll fast forward.
Speaking of a great gift, you can get yours for this holiday season. Before we talk about the disaster in Fenway, our friends at Bromberg's want to make sure your holidays are perfect.
Yeah, again, if you're sitting around right now at work a little bored, check out their online store today. Go to Brombergs.com. Family owned and operated since 1836. Our friends at Brombergs, they've established that solid reputation as a fine purveyor of quality diamonds as well as jewelry, timepieces, and gifts. Brombergs also has that extensive giftware department to service the registries of brides and grooms in Birmingham. Go see our friends at Brombergs, 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit.
All right. Great point right there. Terry says, does Lance also watch The Voice that way, just shuttle through until Ariana's talking? When she's moving her cute little mouth, you
Turn
stop?
that chair around.
I told Rocky I put it on top right TV and I just leave it with no sound. Just glance every now and then.
There she is.
That ain't creepy at all.
We've got Ariana coming up in trash too.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Ariana and trash.
It has something to do with one of her tattoos.
Oh, that is later, coming up at around 11:30. Wimp is slated to be with us next. We'll talk about the Blue Plate that lost for the first time this past week. So we usually get sad or grumpy Wimp.
Can I make a point that his first loss came after he started grinding us down on the point
points,
spreads?
yep.
If he had just left it alone.
The other game in baseball was a Nathan Eovaldi strike that wasn't called that would have gotten him out of the top of the ninth, they being the Red Sox, and would have gone with the home team at bat in the bottom of the ninth and a chance to win it. Instead, the at-bat continues, a base hit, and the rest is history. It ends up being a blowout as the Astros win it 9-2 over a missed call. It was a missed call. It was a strike.
Well, I mean, according to I thought it was a strike too.
Yeah, and listen.
All of Fenway thought it was a strike.
All of Fenway thought it was a strike.
Twitter is fantastic. Instantly after the missed call, I saw a tweet that said, no doubt Greg Sankey's looking to hire that plate umpire for the SEC this year.
Well, that was Laz Diaz. Now, going back to Dodgers game, Jerry Mills was really squeezing the Dodgers behind the plate. I thought it was really one-sided what he was doing. Diaz was just all over the place that entire game. But according to this, Evaldi's curveball being called a strike was 23% according to ESPN stats and information. For whatever that means, naked eye, I agree with you. I thought it was a strike, and then that unraveled everything.
Well, what we do now as a society is we go back and try to find bad stuff about Laz Diaz, and I have seen it this morning that he is one of the least consistent and least accurate home plate umpires in all of baseball.
Oh, so they're not digging like into his personal
No.
life.
I just
I was
not
like,
at all.
geez, over a strike.
Well, it is Red Sox fans, so you never know. But
But see, I think that's why officiating in every sport is the way it is because now fan bases overreact so much with the way we're connected on the internet. Who the hell wants to do that job? Who wants to be an SEC official nowadays? I mean, it takes a special person to want to roll out there.
We know
because if
anybody
you
on
make
this
a bad
cruise,
call, you're going to get death threats.
You don't want to be behind the plate. Nobody wants to be behind the plate.
But I saw the ESPN baseball reporter that favors Herman Munster. I can't remember his name, but you guys know who I'm talking about. He tweeted this morning.
Jeff Passan?
No, I think that may be it. You know what I'm talking about? Fred Gwynn. He looks like Fred Gwynn a little bit.
But
Like
really
a young Fred Gwynn.
young Fred Gwynn.
Yeah. Young Fred Gwynn. Yeah, Jeff Passan tweeted that he missed 20, according to their stats, he missed 23 ball and strike calls. 23.
Last night?
In
one game or a season?
In one game.
Yeah, that's what it says.
But he said, I think 12 were Astros, 11 were Red Sox. So he was bad
It was
on both
12
sides.
Red Sox, 11
Okay,
Astros.
so he was bad on both sides, though. Equally bad.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Like Jerry Mills was just bad for the Dodgers last night. Yeah. But
that
Diaz was just terrible.
Like, I mean,
Says the guy in the Dodgers hoodie. Come on.
Did you watch the game?
I did
mean,
not.
Brown, I don't know what you thought. I thought it was kind of one-sided. I thought the Dodgers were really getting squeezed last night.
Yeah. All right. So that's baseball. Flip around today. Both teams playing Game 5 in the series tied Astros and Red Sox 2-2, 4 o'clock on FS1. You Braves fans in a comfortable place. TBS tonight, 7 o'clock, with the Braves up 2-1 against the Dodgers back out at L.A. Wimp standing by. We'll get to him. Talk a lot more college football. Don't forget college football tonight. Coastal Carolina and Appalachian State. Part of our show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Can I just tell you a story real quick about Storm Restoration Roofing? Last night, has nothing to do with roofing. I get a text from Greg Nelson. He takes, and Greg's with Storm Restoration Roofing, he takes his East Central Patriot youth football team after their game against Evangel down in Alabaster, that area, takes them by Champy's Chicken at 8:30, 30 minutes before close. Parents, players, and everything. It's over 40 people. They fill up every table, and Champy's Chicken keeps the place open. They feed the entire team and parents there at Champy's Chicken last night.
Wow.
Cross promotion
Love
there
when our sponsors
for our
cooperate.
sponsors right
That's
there.
incredible.
Yeah, so thank you to Champy's Chicken for feeding Greg's team last night. If you want a unbelievable roof inspection for free, that's what you get with Storm Restoration Roofing and the great folks there. Greg Nelson and his team will take a look at your roof, and it's a free no-cost inspection, 205-542-3531. Easiest way to do it probably is just look up Greg from Pell City on Facebook. He's got the information there, or call him up, 205-542-3531. Get your roof right for 2022 right now with an A-plus rated Better Business Bureau company, Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Take a second to listen to me. Do you have problems sleeping? Is your energy down? Your workouts not the same? Is your libido down? Your problem could be as simple as low testosterone. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution. You can come in, get a medical consultation and blood work. If medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is
Time on budget small capital construction work, and they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459.
TruckWorks is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the next round's 9 o'clock hour. With locations in Alabama, Mississippi, and the Florida Panhandle, there's a job opportunity for you, no matter where you're located. Visit TruckWorks.com and click the Join Our Team tab today for more information.
Cowan Equipment has had the honor of providing heavy equipment solutions to Alabama contractors for more than 80 years now. With one of the largest and most diverse heavy equipment rental fleets in the Southeast, stocked by Volvo Construction Equipment, Takuchi Mini Excavators, track loaders and skid steers, Groove and Cabelco cranes, Doosan portable compressors and light towers, Indico breakers, and much more. Cowan is your one-stop shop for all your heavy equipment needs. From short and long-term rental options, flexible rent-to-own, or straight purchase options, parts in stock, and service you can depend on, let Cowan show you what it means to have a trusted partner who will keep you ahead of the game. Call Cowan at 800-239-2694 or visit cowan.com. Again, where you can always expect extra effort when it comes to your heavy equipment needs, call Cowan, the name you have trusted for decades, 800-239-2694, or visit them online at cowan.com.
Let's face it, we all have a favorite something. This is LT talking about my favorite men's store, Shea's in downtown Homewood. Why do I like this store so much? And what makes Shea's so unique? Well, to start, they have been in business since 1922. Yes, 1922. And they offer an eclectic mix of menswear brands from classic to contemporary, such names as Xenia, Canali, Peter Millar, and many more. They have an in-house alteration personnel who understands that fit is key. And Shea's gets it right. Whether they're fitting a suit, shirt, or jeans, they offer unbeatable service with a sales staff that truly understands the products and how they fit your individual lifestyle in any occasion. Whether it's your work, leisure time with friends, or a formal event like a wedding, stop by Shea's and see if you don't agree. This store is simply the best. That is Shea's in historic downtown Homewood, where you will feel at home when you arrive and well-dressed when you leave.
Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to Decide to Ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and The Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Mike, one of our longtime viewers and listeners over in East Alabama. Astros win. Biggest Colts 45 Astros fan since 62, he says. Boy, if you go back Colt 45, you are a lifelong Astros fan there. Congratulations to him on their win last night. Game 5 coming up. Jake is a Braves fan. Last night was sickening to my stomach. All the momentum for a potential 3-0 go-ahead, and now it's swiftly 2-1. I'm a realist, and now I'm, quote, scared, he says. That's from the Farmfolio chat room as we roll into more football talk.
The coach, Wimp Sanderson, joins us each week on the Pepsi Hotline, courtesy of our friends at Craneworks, the rental works division of Craneworks. What's up, Coach? How are you today?
I'm doing good. I
Good.
would like to. I know you're gonna fuss, but
Okay.
I would like to call in on Friday and tell Rockstar what the blue plate is.
Okay, can I just point out that you were undefeated and cruising along just
I
fine
heard you say that.
until you started overthinking this, and now you've lost a game.
I listen to all that malarkey.
Okay, well,
that's malarkey.
you can do whatever you want. You know we love you, Wimp, and you're a huge part of our show.
Is it a problem? It would get your listeners anxious to listen to what I'm going to say.
I mean, our
Friday.
listeners would probably triple because of this, but you can do this if you want.
Funny.
Why don't you just call in during our Pick Six? I mean, we do 2 Pick Six segments brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. You could call during one of those and just give your pick.
Why not?
You can do this, but I just want
That
to say,
Friday?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. We'll call you even.
Yeah, in
but
fact, we'll call you.
we'll call you.
We'll call you on Friday.
Yeah.
If it will end this discussion forever, we'll call you on Friday.
I'll give you the time, and we'll
Well,
call
the
you.
Lions go. Here's the reason. We got some injuries in some of the games. I don't know how the Lions going to set. You talked about taking Friday's line, and Friday's line could go way up on one of the games. that I
No,
like.
we literally told you if the line is better for you,
That's
we'll
right.
take the Wednesday line. If it's worse for you, we'll give you the
Would
Friday
you
line.
prefer that? Would you prefer that I do it today?
Yes.
No,
you were undefeated. You were undefeated.
I will
We'll do
say
this next week.
I do think you're overthinking this, but to back your argument, if you wanted to do Friday, I understand that. I would never come out with like my game of the week on a Wednesday, but you have been hot, so I don't know why you would change what
I don't
you're
either.
currently
That's
doing.
my point.
Well, I just don't understand that 12 years we've been together. 12 years, 13 years now. And we did it one way for 13 years.
But he used to
And
do it
now-
on Thursday, which Thursday is closer to the weekend.
Well, it is, but how much do lines change from Wednesday to Thursday on these games?
Not much.
Well,
How
you
much
can-
they change? How much they change from Wednesday to Friday?
Well, I don't know, Coach.
Yeah.
You can do it any way you want to. Again, we love you. You are family to us.
Yeah.
You can do it any way you want to.
Yeah.
I'm just making the point that here on October 20th, you had been undefeated until you started overthinking this. And my fear is from October 20 on, you're not going to have a good finish to the season because you've overthought this.
Okay, I'll give the blue plate today.
No. I don't. I want it Friday now. But
Oh, my God.
You know what I miss? You know what I
Oh, my
miss? I
God.
miss the Wimp who didn't know what the line was. We had to tell you what the line
what's
was
the line
back
on
in the
that
day.
game, Lance? Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay.
The other thing I don't understand in the world of sports, not necessarily football, as y'all had indicated I was going to talk about it, I could tell you who the new LSU coach is, but I'm not going to.
Whoa, why would you not? Why would you tease
And
us? like that?
you'd be the first one I would tell that to because I don't know that. I don't know if it's factual. Why is there no media day for basketball? That is a little bit ridiculous in that Big 12, Big 10, Pac-12, everybody has media day except the SEC. Can you explain that to me?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't know we didn't have media day.
I thought we used to. We used to go to media
They
days.
used to do it here in Birmingham, and I think it was sparsely attended outside of the Kentucky media. They really, I know you don't want to hear this. They really
No,
should.
that's fine. I can listen to it. I've been gone for a long time. I can hear it.
They should just move it to Lexington. Let the Kentucky media do all they want to do, and anybody else that wants to cover it, do it in Lexington.
I thought we did it. I thought we flew everybody to Charlotte and let everybody roll through
I think
the
that's what they
SEC
do.
network. Isn't that what they do? They don't do that anymore?
I think they just do it SEC network, basically.
We've had the SEC. We had a media day in Birmingham for a number of years, I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, it hasn't been in a while.
It hadn't been in a
And I've
long
been
time.
gone a long, as you indicated. I've been gone 100 years. So
Yeah.
did it back then. It was really well attended back then with.
Yeah,
I thought.
here's a problem though, and like
Okay.
for instance, yesterday we get the preseason SEC and all of that. The problem is we're in the middle of football season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody wants to admit that, but the basketball season builds up to a crescendo. But you know, you're in the middle of the moneymaker right now. It's football.
I understand. I understand. I got all that. I just asked the question. I thought it was good when I was there, not because I was there, but Sonny was there and Hugh Durham and all those. You know, we had great attendance. We really did, and I thought.
Well, I mean, it was a different time too. You had beat guys who were signed to cover basketball, and
Yeah,
now you
sure.
don't.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you did have beat guys that did cover basketball back then. You don't do that now.
Yeah. I am excited to talk a little basketball with you because I thought
I think when the people vote, I think, Jim, when the people vote, they don't really know who they're voting for about all conference, all this, all that, because they really don't. You have so many voters. They even have that football who really don't know what they're voting about, don't really know how to vote. Now, you guys would because you keep up so close to the show. Yeah. But there's so many media people that don't know how to vote.
Well, see, and that's what they do with SEC media basketball preseason rankings. It's a limited number of people that vote. Only people that cover the SEC on a national and local scale for basketball. Okay. It's a very small group that vote for the preseason. And Alabama had both first-team guards, or 2 of the 6 players were their guards. And when you look at Shackelford and Quinterly coming back, that's a great place to start for Nate Oates, right? Having 2 all-SEC guards.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's right. Okay.
Good insight. Thank you.
Can we go back to LSU?
He's not going to tell you.
Can go back to it, but
you don't have to tell me who
give us
believe is going to be. I think I've got it figured out, but outside of that, I was just going to ask you. So Ed Orgeron's fired.
It's not James Franklin.
Okay, no, mark him off the list. No,
never mind.
Okay, can I just say?
You're going to ask him about James Franklin?
No, I wasn't. I was going to ask him something else. I'm talking about my selection. Never mind.
You want a whole SEC media day? I asked you a great basketball question. You said you gave me a 3-word answer.
Yeah, let's talk football though.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I thought you were. I thought when I came on the show that basically you said we're going. I thought that's what y'all wanted to talk was football. I'll do whatever you want. I can talk about it. I'm not real great about anything, but I can talk about anything you want to talk about.
I want to talk about football.
I wanted to ask you, not specifically who's going to get the job, but back to Ed Orgeron getting fired. I don't think a lot of people were surprised, although the guy won a national championship 19 months ago. I think that shows you where we are in today's sports and the expectations. But were you a little surprised they paid him the full $17 million?
Not really. I think, and they probably appreciated what he did. All you had to do, if you really study people's faces, and I do, is look at his face after the loss to Auburn, and look at his face after the win against Florida. There's no difference. He wasn't excited. He wasn't upset about the loss. He wasn't excited about the win. You read, and I'd had somebody had called me and told me 3 weeks ago that he was 88 and out the gate, and so I looked for that real heavy, and I could tell that it was over for him. And people like to write about firings, media likes to write about that, and they like to bust it as to why. But I'm not really surprised they gave him. They'll water that thing down to where it won't be as much as you think it'll be. But that's a good question. I don't really have the answer to it, but it doesn't surprise me too much. You win a national championship with the kind of team that they had that year, regardless of where he got the other guy from. The quarterback from. It's just very fortunate they did a good job with it.
The coach, Wimp Sanderson, is with us each week, courtesy of the Rental Works division of Crane Works. He'll tell you more about them in a moment after his blue plate, which is coming up in mere seconds.
No, I'm going to give you a blue plate today.
Coach is on the Pepsi hotline. I'm lost.
Do we have our boards?
Yes. So from a coaching perspective, when we talk about coaching openings, and coaches have big egos, you know this. But if I'm thinking about taking that job and I got a really good job, do I take into account the fact that they have fired their last 2 coaches, both of whom won a national championship, and one of them got fired within 19 months of winning that championship? If you're a coach, do coaches think that way when they're considering a job?
Well, I think they do. It's according to where they are. If they're in a position where they feel like if they've done about all they can do where they are, they've got a pretty big name, and they can go to a school, although it's going to be a tough situation because you got 2 great teams coming into the league. I heard Jim make a point the other day about going to L.A. A little bit easier because the league is easier, so forth. So, and he made some good points there. I thought about would you prefer to go to L.A. than to LSU because of all that? If the salary is the same, of course, it's going to cost you a lot more to live out there. And that was some good points that I thought. But I just think if you're a real football guy and you feel like you can do the job, you take it. There are 4 schools in the SEC that can recruit in their own state and be successful. And those are Texas, Georgia, Florida, and maybe the fourth would be Louisiana. Those 4 schools. The other 4 schools can't take the players in their state and be successful to the point of on a national basis. Alabama's can't, but they have. The Auburns can't. They're close. They're closer to the prospects than Alabama is. The Arkansas, the rest of them can't. Just those 4 schools. You have a little bit of a question whether it's LSU, whether it's Louisiana or not, because they may not be able to get to 25 out of their state, but they're close to Texas. So those 4 schools can compete, and that's why I would consider, if I were a football coach, taking the job at LSU.
All right, he's the coach, Wimp Sanderson. Each week, as you might have heard during this, he gives us a Blue Plate special. Rockstar, hit the music.
Blue Blade Special, sitting in a mayonnaise jar on Sonny Smith's porch.
Well, the reason I had varied on it is, I mean, I'll be honest with you, because I want to hit. There's no doubt about that. Y'all give me all the reasons that I didn't. I have had it down to Ohio State and Indiana.
Okay.
Indiana's quarterback is coming back. Is 21-point favorite right now. Playing at home, I think Ohio State is very good offensively. They've changed their defensive guy. And the other one that I have had along with that was South Carolina and Texas A&M.
Interesting.
And I just don't think that 21 points is. I think they can cover 21 points. The problem I have there is that with one of the quarterbacks out, does the line go up?
It will not move. It is going to stick at 21. They know that Zeb Nolan is the quarterback.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Doty is having surgery, and like Lance said, I think Vegas already knew
so
that.
I didn't know if the line was going to move, and so that's the 2 things. Just being quite honest with you,
we love
about
it.
my thinking. There's no use me trying to beat around the bush. So I'll take South Carolina and A&M.
You're taking Texas A&M?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll take A&M.
It's a favorite.
And I don't, and as I said, the other pick, it's not a blue plate. It's was the Ohio State, Indiana. I don't know. I generally ask LT how he feels about it.
How you feel about it, Lance? South Carolina minus plus, or Ryan, Texas A&M minus 20 and a half.
Texas A&M's on a roll right now. So, I wouldn't feel great about taking Zeb Nolan plus 21.
Who did you think he'd take?
I thought, in my mind, it was 1 of 3. It was Ohio State, Oklahoma. I didn't think you'd want to lay that huge number with Oklahoma, but I thought you were going to go with the NC State Wolfpack minus the 3 at Miami, because Miami looks like they've cashed out.
And I probably should have.
Yep.
I looked at that really heavy, and I've said what I've said, so I'll take that as my blue plate.
I thought that you were going to take Clemson and be very confusing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had you taking Oklahoma State. I thought Wimp was going to go.
Can't do that. It's a dog.
That's true. That's what
Clemson is too.
I thought about that too. Yeah. I thought about both of those, but it's impossible.
Ranked team catching points. I thought you'd go that way. But his official
they played awfully well. Oklahoma State has sometimes they have breakdowns for some reason. Yeah. And as the more you guys talk to me, the more I feel like I didn't do a very good job on the blue plate this week, but that's who I think.
Wimp, you're 5-1.
7-1.
7-1.
Yeah.
7-1.
It's not the blue plate. It's the ramp up. It's the takeoff.
Yeah.
Got to get that plane off the runway.
No, I think you're good.
Yeah. It's a backup quarterback. It's been very successful, and I just feel like that they're excited about the success that they've had against the Alabamas and to go on the road against a bad Missouri team, but still win because the road teams have not won a lot. And I think the crowd will be there, and I think they're anxious to show people how good they are. And so I think South Carolina is very fortunate to beat Vanderbilt. And so I didn't know if the line was going to go up, but Lance says it's not. So it's at 21.
20 and a half.
20.
20 and a half is where you are right now, and that's the pick. Okay. Texas A&M minus 20 and a half. The coach is presented each week by our friends at Craneworks.
Oh, you're getting rid of me.
Well, Coach, we do have to go. Yes.
It is 44 after.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to talk about Craneworks.
This is the way we do it every week, Coach. Go ahead.
David Upton's a friend of mine. They have expert salesmen out there, and they have equipment operators to help you with any project that you might have. They have chainsaws, skid stars, anything that just in stirs or anything that you might need in the way of great equipment for crane work. So David's been terrific to me to be on to sponsor me on this show. Just get on craneworks.com and you'll find a heck of a lot more about them than I can tell you. But Craneworks are great. It's a great company, and I hope all of you will take a look at them and do what you need to do.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you, Wimp. Love you.
Rockstar will send you a link to the show today.
Well, that's fine. Thanks.
All right, love you. I think he's up. He had 15 minutes. I literally just looked at it before I hung it up. 15 minutes. He's going to complain about how little time we gave him. That's the coach on the Pepsi hotline.
There was got to get to some information, man. I asked him a basketball question. He didn't even give me an answer. By the way, the media yesterday ranked Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Auburn top 5 projected finishes, with Kentucky picked to win and Alabama number 2 there. Preseason All-SEC, Shackelford and Quinterly right there. Scottie Pippen Jr. of Vanderbilt is your preseason All-SEC Player of the Year. I think November 9th, somewhere around there, is the opening night of college basketball. We'll get back to more college football still to come on the show in the final hour. Todd Fuhrman will join us to break down some of the non-blue plate picks around college football. When we come back, we'll talk about what Brett Bielema said about his Illinois roster that, I don't know, some people think could be a fireable offense. So hang around.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
ERA King real estate agents are out there every day working hard to make home buying easy. I'm Jim Dunaway, and I know firsthand ERA King's commitment is to support them with the most innovative training and technology available. So even though home values may change, ERA King agents stay priceless. Text the word MOVE to 35260. That's 35260 to get started. ERA King, working hard to make home buying easy.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Farmfolio. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. We all know about rental real estate. Cash flow and appreciation are the name of the game. With Farmfolio's productive farmland lots, your trees act as the tenants, and they pay you in fruit, which is sold by Farmfolio's international sales team to the likes of Walmart and Costco, ultimately generating cash flow for you. As your cash flow increases, your property value also increases. Just like tenant-occupied real estate, the best part is you don't have to be a farmer. You own, they farm, and you earn. This is the way it works at Farmfolio. For more information, you can go online, check everything out today. Go to farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net. Check it out today. If you're concerned about that market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio is your best friend. Go online today, farmfolio.net.
There are few things in life more important than getting a good night's sleep. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. I learned that after going to Sleep Outfitters and getting my sleep outfitting. What is an outfitting, you might ask? Well, I simply went to the Sleep Outfitters off Highway 280, sat down and answered just a few short questions, and in moments, they had me laying on a mattress in the store so I could pick it out myself. The delivery was so easy. They set it up right there in my home, and I have an amazing night's sleep every night, and my life is better because of it. You can get that same night's sleep by finding a location at sleepoutfitters.com. And right now, you could win a $1,000 MasterCard gift card from Sleep Outfitters. This is a special sweepstakes, and it is just for our listeners. So go to sleepoutfitters.com/Ryan to enter. That's sleepoutfitters.com sleepoutfitters.com/Ryan. This is exclusive to the Next Round audience, so go try to win. Discover more about Sleep Outfitters and how they can help you complete your personal sleep profile, and you can start sleeping better too, and you can sleep with a $1,000 MasterCard gift card in your pocket now. sleepoutfitters.com/Ryan.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
TruckWorks is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the next round's 9 o'clock hour. With locations in Alabama, Mississippi, and the Florida Panhandle, there's a job opportunity for you, no matter where you're located. Visit truckworks.com and click the Join Our Team tab today for more information.
A number of stories out there about who will replace Nick Rolovich at Washington State, though Rolovich and his attorney are filing a lawsuit against Washington State because of his firing. I still think there's a path to him being back there. Nobody else does. We'll see. But Texas assistant head coach Jeff Banks, former Alabama assistant, who is a former Washington State player, has a lot of Wazoo boosters pushing for him, according to Bruce Feldman today, and several other stories to keep an eye on Jeff Banks at Wazoo there as they move through their coaching search. Part of the show being brought to you by Standifer Insurance Agency.
Hey, maybe you can save on your insurance like I did. Have your coverages ready and what you pay each month and get an insurance checkup. 664-3200 is the number, 205-664-3200. Auto rates have lowered 4 times in the last 12 months, so it's a great time to contact the Standifer Insurance Group, 664-3200, StandiferinsuranceGroup.com.
All of you complimented Sam Pittman, a lot of our viewers did too, on how he went in and didn't insult the Arkansas roster when he took over. He rallied the people that were already on the team and then tried to bring in other people to help the team. Not the case for Brett Bielema at Illinois. Going to play Penn State this week. This is what he says about the roster he has currently, including the offensive line.
I just know this, as a head coach, you're only as good as your roster, right? I kind of learned that the first time I went to the Kentucky Derby, right? Nobody was betting on the jockeys. Everybody was betting on the horses, right? So to win a Derby, you got to have the right horse, and I think our players are going to be a reflection of what our program stands for. And you know, I stood at the front of the room last year when I took over and said everybody is invited back because of COVID. They gave me the opportunity to do that, but as this roster continues to transition, I've got to make tough decisions. Players have to make decisions, and you know, the roster is going to have to change to get to where we want to be to win the championship. So just certain positions haven't maybe played out the way they envisioned them to. In particular, the offensive line. I don't believe we have a player in the 2 deep that they've recruited here over the last 3 years that is really significantly doing anything for us.
Gosh, are you kidding me?
I mean, what do you think?
I'm blown away, and here's the reason I'm blown away. I don't remember Bielema being like that at Arkansas. Look, you've got to. I mean, first of all, you were just killing the confidence of any guys there. You're losing the locker room by saying that, completely dogging these guys out. You've still got a lot of meat on the bone as far as the season.
Half the season left.
Yeah, and you've only really not been competitive in one game, and that was at Virginia. And I remember watching that game really get away with them with turnovers. You know, they opened the season with not a shocking win, but an upset win over Nebraska. They play Purdue on the road within 4. They play Maryland within 3. You know, Wisconsin beat them soundly, but, you know, they've been in a lot of games, so this is year 1. I just think this is the completely wrong approach, Brown.
How does this help him in recruiting?
It doesn't at all. Well, I mean, I don't know that it hurts him. I mean, it doesn't help him in recruiting. Where it hurts him is now. I mean, if I'm a player, yeah, my coach doesn't support me at all. I mean, that was.
But if I'm sitting and watching this,
yeah.
I'm a recruit. I'm like, if I'm, Bielema or other coach, I'm going to go play for a guy who's going to throw me under the bus.
Yeah,
like
but
this?
Bielema, those aren't the guys what he would say to that Dunaway is, look, I need you to come sign
play
here
right now.
I need you in Champaign because you heard me. These guys, look, I inherited these guys. I'm recruiting the best. You're one of the best. These guys aren't. You will immediately come in and play.
Yeah, and you pointed out Arkansas because there were some parents of players and then some former players who eventually said Chad Morris from day one. All he talked about on the speaking circuit and in the interviews and even in front of his players is we got to recruit our way out of this mess. We got to recruit our way out of this mess, which all that says is the guys, I got a bunch of bums.
Yeah, that's a wrong approach, man.
Yeah,
if I'm a parent, I'm pissed.
And when Sam Pittman took it over, he basically said, "You're my guys. Let's go out and let's band together as a band of brothers. Let's go win."
Yeah, and how's that not the way to do it?
I think it's the best way to do
Because
it.
those are the guys you got.
Yeah, swallow it and go.
That's what Tripp says. Holy smokes, bet your car and house on Penn State this weekend.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that because these are the same players that beat Nebraska. These are the same players that went on the road to West Lafayette and played Purdue within 4 points. So if you got them really rallied and they played really good football for 60 minutes, you've got a shot almost in every game.
And what the heck does Brett Bielema know about betting on a horse, not a jockey? It would take the Trojan horse to hold that man up right now in a race. Are you kidding me?
Well, and real quick, you've got Rutgers at home. You go to Minnesota, and you've got Northwestern at home. Those are 3 winnable games. You could go 5-7 this year, and in year one with that roster, then you make the adjustments in the offseason.
Mortgage Right.
Stupid comments.
Mortgage Right brings you the show today, and that little hot take from Brett Bielema and his roster there.
Hey, there's no place like home. Nobody knows that better than Mortgage Right. With locations nationwide, they're the perfect matchmaker to connect you with a home of your dreams. Mortgage Right's team of skilled professionals. They've got the skills and knowledge to move you in with confidence. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to start your home buying journey today. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
How can we tie the movie Basketball into the show? You asked that question. We'll do it with football and golf next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram @JimDunaway.
Are you sick of leasing your life away? Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Mortgage Right has the cure. With locations nationwide, our friends at Mortgage Right are dedicated to making the home buying process easy. They are eager to offer tips, tools, and a staff of industry professionals to move you in with confidence. So if you're ready to let go of the leasing life and start living life, Mortgage Right can help. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to get started. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crescendo of flavor, there's only one thing that makes everything about that moment better. A cold, refreshing Pepsi. See what I mean? It's like music to my ears. Hot dogs. Better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Want more of the Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters. It's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at HydroLife Therapy. Boost your immune system today with HydroLife Therapy. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service at the Birmingham and Tuscaloosa locations. If you're unable to make it to HydroLife, a nurse can actually come to your home or office. You can visit them online today, hydrolifetherapy.com. HydroLife Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood 9 to 6 and Tuscaloosa 10 to 6.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. Hey, are you suffering from that lower back pain? Get moving this fall with our friends at Stretch Zone. Great for golfers, runners, desk jockeys, weekend warriors, and more. To learn more, book an appointment, 205-509-2349 or online, stretchzonebeham.com. The Next Round is proud to partner with our friends at Taco Mama to support local Alabama startups. Taco Mama is celebrating their 10th anniversary, and as part of this celebration, Taco Mama wants to give back to startups that are trying to build their new business and live out their dreams. As part of this promotion, Taco Mama and the Next Round wants you to send us a 90-second or less video telling us a little bit about your startup. The Next Round will select multiple winners, and they will receive a taco bar compliments of our friends at Taco Mama, and one lucky startup will receive 1 month's free advertising thanks to our friends at Taco Mama. Taco Mama knows how difficult these first steps are, and they want to support local startups and make their journey just a little bit easier. Really simple. Email us that 90-second video or less, staff@nextroundlive.com. That's staff@nextroundlive.com. Again, Taco Mama celebrating their 10th anniversary, and as part of this celebration, they want to give back to startups trying to build their new businesses throughout the state of Alabama.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We start this hour off with a Precision Sports injury update that will impact tomorrow night's NFL game. It's brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports.
Yeah, are you suffering from that old sports injury that won't go away? Maybe you tweaked a joint being a weekend warrior. Precision's got 9 locations in the Birmingham metro area to get your life back on track, including that new Southern Orthopedic Sports Medicine Associates location in Jasper. Your health can't wait. Call 855-219-6200 or visit them online, precisionsportsortho.com.
Word comes out Baker Mayfield, who had said he was trying and still preparing to play Thursday night, will not play Thursday night for the Browns as they take on the Broncos. Case Keenum, as Brown joked about yesterday, of course Case Keenum is the backup.
Always.
And he will be the starting quarterback in that important game for the Browns. But more importantly, LT and Brownie, is that Baker Mayfield's season may be in jeopardy.
He's looking at surgery, is the report. This is a nagging injury of his.
Non-throwing shoulder, but still.
Still, but he can't play with it.
Well,
I mean,
second opinion, no. Conklin and right now, why am I losing my train of thought? Former Alabama player, the other tackle that's in the commercials with him.
Why can I not say it now?
I know who you're talking about.
Anyways, Wills.
Wills.
Jarek Wills. Why can I not say that name?
Yeah, both tackles are out. Now both your running backs are out. You've got a rookie running back that's about to get his first career start. Now Case Keenum. I mean, this thing went from Browns looking like one of the top 5 teams in the NFL to this season can completely bottom out.
And another big issue is in that division, you've got the Ravens, who don't look like they're going to go anywhere, and Cincinnati's playing pretty good football at 4-2. I mean, that division can get away from you.
Bad as Pittsburgh's been, they're 3-3.
The same record as the Browns, yeah.
So no Chubb, Kareem Hunt's on the IR, and now Baker Mayfield will not play. That's part of our Precision Sports injury update. So too from the college ranks, Luke Doty, foot surgery. He's done for the season. Zeb Nolan moving forward as the starting quarterback there in South Carolina. And Georgia in a bye week. Pitch count is up for JT Daniels per Kirby Smart. Throwing 65 to 70 balls a practice, a workout. 30 to 40 yards is sort of his range right now. He'll continue to progress. Still not sure whether JT Daniels will be available for the cocktail party coming up a week from Saturday with that big game between Georgia and Florida. The movie Basketball, 1998. Seen it or not seen it?
Yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone from
Parker and
South Park.
Stone with Jenny McCarthy, but I've never seen it.
It's a good movie.
I've never seen it either. I was curious as why you brought it up because I know what we're about to do.
Yasmin Bleeth was in that as well.
Yeah, took a downfall. Yeah,
she was attractive.
I liked Yasmin Bleeth back in the day.
Yasmin Bleeth. But this was a combination of baseball and basketball. You know, guys, we create these games sometimes when you're bored, right? How many of us have come up with games with tossing paper balls in the garbage cans?
Well,
and
I've
things
got one
like
of the
that?
great pool games of all time that I created
pool
about
golf.
5 games.
Explain to people at LT's pool. What do you play?
So I've got a basketball goal with a pool that actually, I typically keep it in one position. I can move the goal, but I typically keep it in one position. But what we do is we put 9 holes around the pool in different areas. And whoever actually wins the round before can actually design the course wherever you want to put it. So you go to hole 1, you shoot, you make the shot, you get a 1. It's really a par 2, or I guess the course is a par 18. But if you miss, wherever the ball goes, you've got to shoot from there. So I've seen people score as bad as 9 on a hole. Average is about 2 or 3 on a hole.
Yeah. So if you miss, you got to run and catch the ball as close as you can to the hole, lay it in, dunk it.
Yeah, or jump in the pool if it's in the
what
pool.
I learned is you jump in the pool and let the wash push it closer to the goal and you shoot from there.
Yeah, we've got strategy.
I noticed Taylor brothers like to go to that strategy a lot.
Yeah. So you call that?
It's pool basketball.
Pool basketball. All right. Always
pool golf.
Pool golf's what you call it. I always used to invent games by myself as a kid with no friends growing up, right? But basketball was a sport that was invented by guys, right? Just killing time. So LT wants us to take football with golf scoring here and do a projection for the rest of the season. We'll call this what, LT?
I don't know what we'll call it, but we're going to do it based on
you called it something golf, football golf or something?
Yeah, football golf.
Golf.
Yeah, the way it'll work is the final coaches poll, whatever the ranking is. Let's say that you've got first pick, which you do. Let's just say you take Georgia, and Georgia ends up number 1. Then you get a 1 for Georgia.
Yeah.
We're playing for the lowest score. We're going to draft 5 teams. We'll do a snake draft, and whoever has the combined lowest score of rankings from the coaches poll will actually win.
Okay, and we'll take the winner and their spouse or significant other out to dinner. Should they win? With me winning, you and Brownie and LT will take me and Maggie to dinner. So that's how it works. Play along with us at home. See if we make the right picks. I get the first overall pick. I'm going to take the Georgia Bulldogs with my number 1 score there.
Very consistent. You said they're going to win it all. I'll take Alabama.
I thought you guys would go this route. I love this. I will go Ohio State. And then I will take – it's a little risky because if they lose one game, they're really going to drop. I don't think they're going to lose a game. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Don't do that. I thought I was going to get them.
All right. So you, in your opinion, think that Cincinnati – even if they don't lose a game, they will score very low. You think they will remain, going by the coaches poll at the end of the year, will be highly ranked?
I don't know how you guys believe. Typically, the coaches poll, whoever's in the college football playoff, those are your top 4 teams. I think if Cincinnati is left out and one of those teams gets blown out in the semis, I think Cincinnati will end up in the top 4. I loved Oklahoma, but Oklahoma's got a more difficult route coming up. So I think the safe bet, Ohio State wins out, Cincinnati wins out.
Yeah, I'm going to go Oklahoma. I mean, I'm getting the current number 2 team in the nation. So thank you very much, as Wimp would say.
So you went Oklahoma.
I did go Oklahoma.
And I do think Oklahoma wins out, but they do have difficult games.
No, there's no doubt they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting them the 5th pick, though.
So now this is where it gets interesting.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, like that was pretty much
pretty easy.
That the first 5 was pretty easy.
It was, yes.
So now is where it gets interesting.
Got to think now, Jim.
And this is where Jim is going to Jim. All right.
Wake Forest.
I am going to take Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels.
Wow.
Can we say that in unison?
Yeah, wow.
I mean, a little harmony there.
They should have just lost 2 games in a row.
Pick 6.
I mean, this team should be, right now, they should be sitting at 3-3.
Pick number 6, you went Ole Miss.
Yep.
Interesting. This is an interesting choice.
Well, you have way too much faith in Lane Kiffin.
Thank you so much. And then I'm going to back that up with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
I like that pick a lot.
All right.
I think Notre Dame.
So if I'd gone Notre Dame and Ole Miss, would I have gotten the oohs and the ahs?
No, I mean, I think Notre Dame's a really good pick. I think they've only got maybe one more loss in them. Notre Dame will be a top 10 team.
Thank you, Mark. Mark,
what did Mark say?
He rallies with me in the Farm Folio chat room over there.
No chance that team's 11-1.
He's got Ole Miss 11-1.
11-1 going into the bowl game.
Tyler says Lance has seen every movie ever made in every country, but hasn't seen basketball.
Yeah, don't want to see basketball.
Yeah.
No desire.
I think you would like it. I agree with you, Tyler. You know why you won't watch it? Too many laughs. Too much fun.
Nobody loses their head.
I watched Succession and I laughed out loud for a full 60 minutes last night.
Because you laugh at trauma and death.
Nobody died in Succession last night.
Trauma and death.
Farm Folio brings you our chat room, Brownie.
They do, Jim. Give me 2 seconds on that. My apologies. I was looking for my next team. If you're
strategy and everything in this game, my friend.
If you're concerned about, that's right, you got me off my picks now. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farm Folio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. Visit farmfolio.net, farmfolio.net.
You got 15 seconds for your pick now.
I'm going to come back with the Michigan Wolverines.
Ooh.
Michigan.
I have no thought. I just wanted to make a sound.
Ooh. I will take, although I think that they lose this week, I think I am going to take, just to give them a little love, I'm going to take Kentucky, and then I am going to take Oklahoma State.
Wow. Doesn't Oklahoma State lose this weekend?
Yeah, they do.
You just said that.
Yep. But after that, Dunaway, they will be favored. They've got Kansas, West Virginia, TCU, Texas Tech, and then Oklahoma. So I think they go 10-2.
Okay, here's where I pause for a second and ask you guys, none of you like Penn State, Michigan State, Oregon, or Iowa right now?
Well, I mean, I'm about to pick, but I could have gone Penn State in that last batch there.
Well, turns out you still have them.
I know I do. I don't want to load up with Big Ten teams, but I'm almost forced to right now.
It is your pick.
I'll tell you what. I'm aware, Jim. Thank you. I'm going to take Iowa. I do not like this team at all.
I like the schedule, though.
I do. That's what I'm saying. They're in the right side of the Big Ten.
I would have taken Iowa if they would have been left.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Iowa there.
I'm going to take Coastal Carolina.
We can do my lock after this if you want.
A little Happy State action.
I hear you.
That may drop them all the way out of the poll, that loss.
I'll take Coastal Carolina, and then I will finish things up with...
What you don't want to do is have a team outside of the top 25. By the way, for any viewers or listeners, team outside the top 25 is 26 points. You pretty much are done if you have a team outside.
If you take on a 26, you are.
Yeah. And I will finish things up with, I'm going to seal Sean Clifford's fate right here. I will take Penn State. Probably done for the year now once I make that announcement.
I'll take Texas A&M. They may not lose again. If you look at the remainder of their schedule, they could finish 10-2 at that point.
They may not win again.
It's a top 10 team. I think they're going to win again.
And you'll wrap it up, LT. Who do you have?
Oh, give me 1 second. I hate this Oregon team, and I think they've got multiple losses coming up. Oh, boy.
Scoring at home, I've got Georgia, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Coastal Carolina, and Penn State. Brownie has Alabama, Oklahoma, Michigan, Iowa, and Texas A&M. LT to date has Ohio State, Cincinnati, Kentucky, and Oklahoma State, one pending.
Oh, man. This is so tough. If I knew they were going to win this weekend, Clemson is a layup because I think they went out. Clemson at 10-2, where do they put them?
I don't know because the poll, I mean, that's probably, I don't know, Lance. That 10-2, they're not beating anybody to get there.
But if they win the rest of them and they're ACC champs, they'll be a top 10 team.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, there's Pittsburgh at number 23 as well that we just gave nothing to.
This is just a garbage pick. Y'all have left me with complete garbage.
Well, it's really not us.
Basketball now streaming on Netflix as we kill time. A good opportunity right here. If you want me to tell you about our friends at Wayne's, while LT thinks about one more pick here to fill the dead air. Our friends at Wayne's, headquartered in Birmingham since 1973. World-class service every time right there. Lance would tell you that nothing is more annoying than being out on the grill with mosquitoes flying around your head. It ruins a perfect day, even if you're playing pool golf. with basketballs. The professionals at Wayne's can protect you and your family and your pets from those pesky mosquitoes during the outdoor time of year, or if your lawn's going into dormancy like it does during the winter. There are treatments that Wayne's have in place so that your lawn looks lush and beautiful next spring when it sprouts back up. Serving over 100,000 families and businesses across the SEC, including every Next Round Live family. It's the friends at Wayne's in Birmingham since 1973. Right now, if you use the promo code TNR, you get $60 off your initial EnviroPest service treatment. Call 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES-1.
I'll just ask you this real quick question, and I'm ready to pick. It's between two teams. Oregon goes 9-3. Texas San Antonio undefeated. Who's higher?
Oregon.
I would say 9-3. Is that two more losses for Oregon? I would say unbeaten UTSA barely.
I think it'd be Oregon.
I'm going to go safe. I'm going to play Oregon here.
Everyone in the chat room says you should go UTSA.
And they think I'm going to win it. Chris and Nick both think I've got this one in the bag. Some teams we just glossed over. I mentioned Pittsburgh.
Wait, you think a predominantly Alabama audience thinks you're going to win it with Alabama? Brown, go out there, man.
That's one. But you had a chance to pick them, Jim. You and Georgia.
Yeah, I took Georgia.
But I feel better. I think Brown's got a really, really good team. Brown scares me. Dunaway does not.
Okay, what scares you? What doesn't scare you about mine? Which team do you not like?
Coastal, if they lose
I hate
tonight.
your Ole Miss.
You hate Ole Miss. 11-1 Ole Miss. You hate them.
This is Lane Kiffin coaching this team.
11-1 Ole Miss with their only loss being to Alabama.
If Matt Corral doesn't play this weekend, they probably lose to LSU.
Oh, please.
Please.
They've got the word Manning painted in the end zone.
Yeah.
Who loses when they paint a former player's name in the end zone?
I've never seen that happen. Have you ever seen that
Former
happen?
player and top recruit name in the end zone is unbeaten in college football history.
Well, they're going all in for Arch, aren't they?
That's why they're doing it. It's not like a tribute to the Mannings.
No,
they're retiring
honoring
Eli Manning.
But if you,
it would be illegal to do it for a recruit.
If you don't think though that it's got everything to do with Arch, I mean, they could have retired Eli's number at any time.
Well, they're going to keep Lane Kiffin away from Arch, though, right?
They were supposed to go Eli Manning retirement last year because of the pandemic. They didn't, so here it is this year.
How convenient.
And the Manning name is in the end zone. It's Eli Manning. It's not Arch Manning. The fact that he'll be in the stands is a coincidence.
It is completely coincidental.
Yeah. It would be a rule violation otherwise.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't think this. I don't like your Coastal pick, Jim, because it is so risky if they lose tonight. If Lance is right in his lock and they lose tonight, they fall out of the top 25 and may never get back in. That may give you 26.
I don't think they lose tonight. I think App State's that bad. You want to do your lock right now? The lock of the day is brought to you by our friends at Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing. Just drain it. Who you got?
I'm going to take App State. I'm trying to, Brown, can you give me an updated number as we
Sure,
take a look at
Lance.
this?
Yeah, fire away, man. I'll do this for you, Wimp. Do you want to call back Friday and get the number, or you want it right now?
No, I'll take it right now.
Okay. -4 is where we got Coastal, Jim. Your shots are -4 tonight.
Okay, giving up 4 points tonight.
Yeah, and again, look, Grayson McCall's been great. 14
4.5,
touchdowns,
4.5.
1 interception, but I'll take the 4.5 here. Last week, Appalachian State couldn't have played worse with the 4 turnovers, 0 for 11 on third down. I think, at 4-2, this looks like an easy win for Coastal Carolina, but I think the Mountaineers will come to play tonight. I don't know if they win the game, but I feel good about a one-possession game, and take the Mountaineers here.
All right, App State's the lock of the day. It's brought to you by Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing. Jeremy Purvis and his team handles everything when it comes to commercial and residential plumbing needs, and they give you absolutely free quotes on that. 205-516-4927. 516-4927, a free quote. Go to ironmountainworld.com, ironmountainworld.com. Just drain it. When we come back, more college football for you. Also, we'll ask the question right now. With Baker Mayfield out and the Browns reeling, where are your top 5 teams in the National Football League? That 3 and out and our upset alert, all part of the show as we move on a Wednesday on the next round.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Wayne's. Look, fall is here. You want to enjoy that outdoor weather. Imagine sitting out there on the Saturday, manning the grill. You're watching football. You don't want to deal with the mosquitoes. Don't let the mosquitoes ruin your perfect day. The professionals at Wayne's can protect you, your family, and your pets. Call today, 1-866-WAYNES1. You can always go online, callwaynes.com. Fall weather is here. Enjoy it with the family, mosquito-free. You can do it with our friends at Wayne's.
There's nothing I like more than a unique, delicious meal, and that's what you get at Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Those great full fried chicken plates, the tenders, the po' boys, but I love the Southern staple chicken on a stick. It's perfect for a tailgate or watching the big game. And then the authentic Mississippi Delta recipe, homemade tamales, the best I've ever tasted. See the whole menu or order online at champyschicken.com. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster. At ERA King Real Estate, they're empowered by technology and driven by community. What does that mean? It means you are the reason they have the most extensive training and the most innovative tools in the business. ERA King believes a culture focused on building value in their agents produces big value for their clients and their families. To find your agent, text MOVE to 35260. That's MOVE to 35260. ERA King, working hard to make home buying easy.
Stay up to date with the Next Round at nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like the Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from the Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. NextRoundLive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make NextRoundLive.com your homepage. That's NextRoundLive.com.
Cool weather is approaching, and now is the time to get your heating system checked out. Excalibur Services excels in all residential heating, cooling, or electrical problems or upgrades you may have in your home. Owned by a Marine veteran, Excalibur uses highly trained HVAC and electrical service experts to ensure the job is done correctly and in a timely manner. If you're looking for a company you can trust to do it right, call Excalibur today at 205-718-8688 or at excaliburservice.com. Excalibur Services, Alabama license number 15214.
All right, guys, I don't know about you, but there is one game I don't ever want to be out of. And that's why I'm glad we have the Alabama Men's Clinic right here in Birmingham. They have treated thousands of Alabama men for ED. There are many different causes like a heart condition, diabetes, a reaction to medication, or simply low testosterone. The Alabama Men's Clinic staff will find the problem, and some of you will be back in the game the day after your first appointment. You can set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. I know what you're thinking. A lot of guys actually just take a pill, but sometimes that pill doesn't work, or it can give you unwanted side effects. Let the pros come up with your game plan. There's no need to wait. Depression, anxiety, a new connection with that special person in your life. It could be all just one important play away. Call 205-598-7000 or get back in the action at alabamamensclinic.com. Let's just cut to the chase right here. A tax problem is way too important to trust someone out of state to some national 1-800 number when you have someone here local that can take care of you. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round, and I've seen what ignoring IRS tax problems can do. If you owe back taxes and are looking for a way out, I've got the answer. It's my friend Perry Cronin with the Axiom Tax Resolution Group. You've got to understand this. The IRS is starting to take the gloves off again as we roll into 2022. They're coming after people, so don't fall victim to liens and garnishments. Call Perry Cronin, 205-872-1100, 872-1100, or the website 205tax.com. Perry and his daughter Teresa Cronin are tax professionals right here in our area. You'll meet them face to face, you'll explain your situation, and they'll handle your case like a family matter. Perry Cronin can help. Visit the website 205tax.com. There's not a better place to watch the big games with a great atmosphere than right there at Walk-Ons, Highway 280 and 119, and coming soon near the Hoover Met. The Walk-Ons happy hour is 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. You can download the Walk-Ons mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh from scratch. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-Ons.
Rockstar's viewing menu in just a second. One note that we didn't get into yesterday with the penalties against Tennessee, and I don't think I knew this existed, but it does make 100% sense that when the league presidents in the SEC decided it was okay to allow alcohol sales, each school would choose whether to sell alcohol inside SEC stadiums or not. It was an SEC rule, by the way, that prevented at SEC events to prevent alcohol sales. And that's why even when you were in professional stadiums like the SEC championship, the SEC had to sign off on whether or not you would end up allowing alcohol sales. Greg Sankey and the commissioner retains the right to penalize a school by eliminating its alcohol sales if they think it somehow is the cause of the disruption. So all the presidents wanted the power to stay with the SEC because they knew that they would be money hungry. You know, I need you to oversee even my greed at that point. So the SEC office retains the right in this case, if Tennessee doesn't correct this problem, and there's another situation, you know, because some of that was beer cans being thrown out onto the field, that they can go back and say, no alcohol sales for you. They become the beer Nazis.
Yeah, wow. And boy, that the potential revenue you can make off alcohol, which I assume is quite large, or these schools wouldn't be pushing to do it, that is a huge financial penalty. I mean, I don't know what they can make off alcohol. I haven't even seen the numbers of what they think they can.
Yep. So that becomes a bigger penalty than the 250.
I did the math. I don't think it's significant. I think it's like maybe, it is, but compared to SEC money, it might be $5 million a year that some of these schools are making on alcohol sales. And I think that was just a round number that I did years ago when I was just estimating. Was Saturday night alcohol related? 100%, but it wasn't alcohol related because of alcohol sales in the stadium. You saw the flash flying out.
Yeah. I played golf with a Tennessee fan yesterday, and he agreed. He said he heard what we said, and he agreed. He said, this would not have happened if it were Mississippi State. This happened not because Lane Kiffin was inciting the crowd, but because Lane Kiffin was in the stadium.
Right.
That you were already amped up to that level, and then the perceived horrible officiating. Now, he is a Tennessee fan. He said he was embarrassed by what happened. But he said the horrible officiating just poured fuel on that fire, that the fire was burning because Lane Kiffin was in the stadium.
Yeah, I agree with everyone in the Farm Folio chat room over there. Looks like from the water bottles that were coming down, they should limit water sales as well. Rockstar gives us a viewing menu every day. It is brought to you by our friends right there at New Life Art.
Yes, New Life Art, bringing you memorable sports moments by Daniel A. Moore for over 40 years. For more information, 1-800-735-2787. Or view his incredible work, go to danielmooreart.com.
720 on HBO Zone. One that I was not very into, that's a cult classic that Lance likes, that I can't believe has not been ordered for a remake yet. Clueless.
I thought Clueless was really good.
Can you not believe I'm ready for the remake.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that it
was it 90?
95.
95. Then you got
but there's been a lot of almost the same feel type movies that came off of that, almost a genre, if you will, right?
Yeah, when Paul Rudd was young. He looked young back then.
The way he was, yeah. Alicia Silverstone was really young.
And what's the
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash. She's pretty and crazy. 9 p.m. on ABC, you got Superstar, which is a documentary features all about Robin Williams. They feature different actors, their highs and lows. And that comedian, I know you haven't seen it yet. I think Lance walked in here. There's a comedian that has a 5-minute short of him doing a Robin Williams impression.
I saw it. You were showing it to me. Yeah.
And it's so good that even Robin Williams' daughter says, like, please stop posting it. It reminds me too much of my dad.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I asked Rockstar, are they doing a biopic? That guy is so good.
I think he's trying to get, like, this would be one scene.
Because
somebody would just pick this up.
Yeah, I think a Robin Williams biopic would be fascinating. And this guy's good enough to do it.
From where he started, the demons that Robin Williams, the drug abuse early on, the disease a lot of people that don't realize that he was suffering from when he committed suicide. He was such a talented guy. At times, to me, he was a little over the top.
Yeah, he started out as a mime.
What was the HBO special that he would do with Billy Crystal and Whoopi Goldberg?
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief. It would drive me insane because he was way too over the top and he would try to steal the show. But Robin Williams, the actor, when you would watch some of his films like Good Will Hunting, and Good Morning Vietnam, such a talented actor.
Then last night I watched the episode of Clash of the Cover Bands. I mentioned it last week. They do different acts, but last night was the Stadium Rock Stars, and it was a battle between two bands. One was a U2 cover band, and one was a Coldplay cover band. Yeah. And it's really super uncomfortable because the guy is Bono.
I saw that. I saw the U2.
Like him, but they can't. It's sad because you can see that it's a live performance, and the guy at Coldplay they have to fill 30 minutes. So the next commercial break, like, hey, we're going to take you to a vocal teacher to project your voice to be more like Chris Martin. And then with the U2 band, they said, guys, this is not the Bono show. U2 is not Bono. It is all of you. So you guys have to, like, we've been in this tribute band for 25 years. He's like, you guys need to feed off each other. So they had him.
Yeah, because the Edge is big. By the way, are you dressed like the Edge today?
A little chilly in here, man. But they were so bad. But on the live performances, you can see they've obviously auto-tuned their voices.
But he's still the Bono's still not good.
Oh no, neither is the Cole. But he just looks like him.
Yeah.
But it's just like, and U2 won. You get a chance to win $10,000 between 6 people, and a chance to be on the Jimmy Fallon.
It's really sad because, like, the U2 band, they all talk about what their day jobs are and how they devote every free minute they've got to this band. Like, they talk about, getting home at 3 o'clock on Sunday morning, having to be up for work at 6. So that Monday, it's all worth it, man, when we can go do this. I'm like, God, that is just... It's crazy they would devote that much time.
Does it have any interaction where U2 or Coldplay has reached out to those bands in the past?
I would imagine they don't like them.
I would imagine, but I imagine like you're benefiting off us. We don't. I don't think U2 needs that. Like we don't need the extra publicity.
But this guy does look just like Bono when he's in costume.
Doesn't
but he
sound like him.
does not sound like him at all.
Maybe I'm wrong, but didn't Kiss reach out to whatever the greatest Kiss cover band and sort of pay them a tribute or something?
Strutter?
Yeah.
Well, there's Little Kiss, where there's little. It's a Kiss band with little people.
Yeah.
That's really good. Seriously, it's awesome.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know if it's Little Kiss, but it's like Little
Can you
Kiss.
find it?
Yeah.
That's what Rockstar is watching tonight. Don't forget baseball going at 4 o'clock on FS1, 7 o'clock on TBS for the Braves fans in action tonight. Basketball yesterday, Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Auburn projected 1 through 5. That's what cranks up the SEC preseason hoops there. News from Bruce Pearl was Alan Flanagan is on schedule to return in mid-December after his Achilles injury. He averaged 14, 5, and 3 last year, but still on pace to return in mid-December.
Oh, it's on the screen for you guys. This Little Kiss.
That's pretty incredible. That dude's cut up, though, the one on the left with the green eye paint.
Peter Criss.
Yeah.
And that's a Little Kiss cover band?
That is.
Have they ever played in town?
Hey, that's a big tongue for a little guy.
It is. Yeah. It's playing the part.
Could be prosthetic. You don't know.
Well, that's always the rumor about really Gene Simmons, right? That it's not really his tongue?
How do you get a prosthetic tongue?
That would seem very uncomfortable.
I would imagine it's a prop, a Hollywood prop, right? You place it on your tongue
Ooh,
for that moment. You're going to.
So, God, you're doing a stadium show.
On that.
Yeah. So that's it is a stadium show, but is there anybody in the stadium?
Yeah, but nobody there.
Nobody watching them.
We could play a stadium show if they let us in.
Football tonight as well, 6:30 on ESPN. Coastal and App State go at 6:30 over on the ESPN family of networks tonight. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut 6 tonight, this weekend, it's Tennessee coming to town to play Alabama, and Josh Heupel. Yeah, I mean, would you say it was an emotional loss last week?
Yes,
to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean, to pick up your guys and have to rally for a rivalry game, it did not work out perfectly for Tennessee. A win over Ole Miss, you could ride the wave into Tuscaloosa. Now you've got to somehow pick your guys up a little bit, right?
And not just emotional, but emotional plus physical. I mean, that game, your defense was on the field for 103 plays, I believe it was. Your offense was on the field a lot. I mean, there were a lot of plays in that game, a lot of banged-up players in that game. Whereas Alabama went and cruised to a win and got a lot of stuff right. I mean, that could probably, those two together could not have gone much worse.
Here's Josh Heupel talking about his locker room heading to Tuscaloosa.
How do you make sure that that sort of buy-in factor that y'all have had throughout is something that doesn't waver when things start to get pretty tough?
Yeah, I just believe in the competitive spirit inside of our building. I believe what we're building, the effort and strain that they're playing with. You know, the other night wasn't perfect. There's at no point did you ever question the effort and the want to. I believe in who those guys are, and you know, as you build a program, that's the first place that it starts.
And I agree with him. You go back to Jeremy Pruitt, and there's some headlines with Pruitt we'll talk about in a second that is out yesterday and into today. But you go back to some Jeremy Pruitt moments and the string of coaches you've had along the way, all the way back to Lane Kiffin, and there have been moments and times where it looked like the roster had checked out a little bit, that they were not giving you the kind of effort that they seem to be giving you right now.
Yeah, look, I even think in that loss, you take away Matt Corral, and you can't do this. Matt Corral, if they could have somehow limited him running the football, Tennessee wins that game, and you still Cedric Tillman, that next to last play, the Milton throw into the end zone, it goes off Tillman's fingertips, and he makes that catch, you win that game. So you were so close to beating Ole Miss. That would have been 3 consecutive wins for the last 5. They would be sitting at 5-2. They're close, they're getting better, and they are giving you effort.
I would say, this is one of those things you never know, if Hooker's the quarterback and not Milton, they may win that game.
Yeah, he might have made that throw.
Because I think he could probably make the throw that Milton missed. I also think there's zero chance Hooker just runs out of bounds on the last play the way Milton did. That said, it looks more and more like Milton's going to be your quarterback in this game. Hooker's back at practice, but they don't, I think he's going to be able to play. So, I mean, good luck going to Alabama and trying to win with Joe Milton.
The other story coming out about Tennessee, and I don't think this impacts the game at all this weekend, but the lawyer for Jeremy Pruitt is threatening a lawsuit now. And he's saying, listen, if you don't give us a settlement on the $12 million that my client was owed, we will sue, and it will be embarrassing for Tennessee boosters. It'll be embarrassing for Tennessee. And they ended up talking about debilitating NCAA sanctions for Tennessee if we go to court, because we're going to air it all out. My question to you guys is, does Jeremy Pruitt never want to coach again in college?
No, this would do it if he doesn't.
I mean, this would be. I mean, if you go into court and you lay everything out to where it's debilitating NCAA sanctions, Jeremy Pruitt is done as a college coach. If he shuts up and coaches with the Giants this year, then I think there's a scenario he could be back coaching next year as a coordinator, a defensive coordinator in Tuscaloosa possibly.
But his mentality, you never know. What is Pruitt now, 45, 42,
maybe
43, 44,
I don't know
45?
how much money he thinks he's going to get, Lance.
Yeah, his attorney probably saw what Ed Orgeron got with the $17 million. They're looking for the $12.6 million buyout. They're claiming that they owe all that buyout, and maybe Jeremy Pruitt's at a point in his life, you give me 12.6 after I pay taxes, I got $7 or $8 million in the bank, I'm good.
No, you got to pay the lawyer.
The lawyer's going to get, in that situation, a lot more than just the normal percentage because they went to court.
I mean, you give me $6 million cash, I think I can make it.
You think so?
Meanwhile, if I just shut up and keep coaching the Giants.
But you got to work. He might not want to work anymore.
Next year, I'm back at Alabama or a school like that. Then you coach at LSU. Who do you want as your DC? You know, Jeremy Pruitt was pretty darn good.
I would say that 95% of coaches want to continue to coach. That's in their blood. That's what they want to do. But there probably are some exceptions to the rule. And who knows? I'm just saying the other side of that coin possibly could be Jeremy Pruitt is just past this. He wants the money and he wants to be done. Because I agree with you. If he scorches earth, he's done.
Yeah. Boy, I did not. I mean, this is an impressive number. First of all, he's 47. I just looked up to say how old he is. 47. Okay. In total, Jeremy Pruitt has coached 59 NFL draft selections. That's really impressive, including 16 first-round picks and 22 All-Americans. I mean, if I'm his agent, which I think is Jimmy Sexton, I'm not certain, that's a pretty impressive number to toss around. But you're right. He's basically an NFL coach for life now if he does what he's talking about doing.
Yeah, or just sits on the couch. JD in Huntsville. JD, what do you think about that? Because I think Jeremy Pruitt still has a chance to be a really good coordinator. You always have a good eye on things. What do you think of that?
Well, I think this is the perfect time to do this because Tennessee's public perception is in the toilet right now. And I guarantee you he has told them, we know who your whistleblower is. And if we go to court and have to put him on the stand, he's going to have to answer some questions that y'all don't want answered. And so I think they're pretty confident that Tennessee's going to settle. They really have to settle. They cannot go to court and have to have people have to testify and go to depositions. And they're trying to talk out of both sides of their mouth of this whole thing anyway. They're saying, well, the allegations were so egregious that we had to fire everybody, but they weren't bad enough that we should get on probation to the NCAA. If they go to court, golly, it just gets worse for Tennessee. If I was Tennessee, I'd pay them half and say we're done.
Well, because Tennessee, what their gamble would be was, Jeremy, you don't want this stuff getting public either. And Jeremy's side is like, my image can't be hurt any worse. I mean, you fired me.
Yeah.
I can't even coach in college football right now. People think I've cheated with NCAA. And if you think I'm worried about what this is going to do to me, I'm ending my coaching career by filing this lawsuit. So Yeah, whatever you guys got on me ain't going to hurt me. So Tennessee really doesn't even have that card to play, JD.
And if they have to put Fulmer on the stand, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You don't want that. You just don't want that.
It's a mess.
So the best thing to do, just pay him a decent settlement and just walk away, and everybody says, okay, we're good. Jeremy can coach. Tennessee will move on with Heupel. But I just think that his lawyers know a lot about how this thing went down, and they don't want anybody knowing all this stuff.
Yep. Thank you, JD. I kind of agree with him. I don't know how Tennessee would fight back on this.
More on that in just a second. Our friends at Odie's tonight playing host to the next round crew as they go out for trivia.
Rockstar, it is.
That is trivia.
Every Wednesday night. Typically, I'm there. Ryan Brown's going to pinch hit tonight where I watch Game 4 of the NLCS. But Ryan Brown, Rockstar Will Haver, get there a little before 8 o'clock. Enjoy some of that great food. Rodney Davis has been cooking up almost 30 years now. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, my personal favorite, the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets you can enjoy this fall weather. Sit out there with a beer bucket full of cold Bud Light, and you can watch Game 4 of the NLCS, which first pitch, 7:08 tonight. Get there early. Again, enjoy the food. It's a Birmingham institution. It's Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Basketball coach Rick Barnes telling ESPN's Chris Lowe, I'm really disappointed that Jeremy would throw people's names around that he knows did nothing but support him the entire time he was here and make these unsubstantiated claims. I would invite the NCAA to come in any day of the week and investigate our program.
Whoa, Rick.
I'll read that again for you. Quote, I would invite the NCAA to come in any day of the week to investigate our program. I have too much respect for our players, our school, and our administration for somebody to ever think we were not doing things right here and make such ridiculous statements.
The only other coach I can remember publicly saying, I would invite the NCAA to look into our program. The only other one I can remember was Hugh Freeze.
And how'd that go?
Not good.
Yeah.
He's coaching Liberty right now.
Yeah.
Again, don't poke the cake.
Yeah. That's the last thing you want to do right there.
I mean, that is just short of Rick Barnes saying, I invite the IRS to come and go over all of my financials. It's always they'll find something. It's a big, thick rule book.
That's right. Yeah. The one thing you don't want to do is invite the NCAA to town.
Yeah. So that ugly situation possibly there in Knoxville, Tennessee, with the backdrop. I got to use the old joke last night. I was at a speaking engagement helping out the folks at the King's Ranch. And I said, does everybody have a smartphone? Would you everybody hold up your smartphone? And everybody in the room held it up. And I said, now just think about this. What you're holding in your hand was not invented the last time Tennessee beat Alabama. And everybody's like, can I get $2,000 for this bottle of wine? All right. The King's Ranch, I appreciate you guys having me out last night. A lot of money and good times for that great cause right there in Shelby County. When we come back, I asked you guys, top 5 teams in the NFL for you right now. Who are they? It's next on the next round, part of our show being brought to you by the folks at the University of Montevallo. Great institution right there in Shelby County. Montevallo is the place for your son or daughter to find their potential. Great classroom setting, small class sizes, one-on-one relationships with a professor that'll help your son and daughter succeed academically. Great on-campus atmosphere. In fact, Southern Living calls Montevallo one of the most beautiful Southern campuses out there. College of distinction for over a decade now. Find out why your son or daughter belongs at the University of Montevallo. Montevallo.edu. Montevallo.edu to schedule that in-person tour at the University of Montevallo.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Banking isn't just about your money. It's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org, America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. 4 great locations right here in Birmingham. The team at Vulcan Tire and Automotive, they feel it's important for you to know they don't employ any salespeople or technicians that are incentivized with your commissions. When you are getting your vehicle serviced, the team is only incentivized to take care of you and your vehicle. That doesn't happen everywhere, but it does happen at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. Again, 4 locations right here in Birmingham, Hoover, Moody, Trussville, and Gardendale. For more information, Vulcan Tire and Auto.com.
It's time to change the game plan on your night's sleep. Have you ever had a custom-made mattress set made right here in America? Now more than ever, American-made, Alabama-made means something, and that's what you get with my friends at Royal Bedding on Highway 31 in Pelham. Tom, Ginger, and TJ Vignale have been providing Alabamians with a great night's sleep for over 30 years now. You can see everything they offer on their website, royalbeddinginc.com. But better yet, stop by the showroom right on Highway 31. It's Royal Bedding and the website, royalbeddinginc.com.
One Man in the Toolbox has provided professional handyman services since 1997. Honesty and reliability are qualities that embody every one of their employees. From residential to commercial, One Man in the Toolbox has the background to help you with almost any project. 823-2111. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com. No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails. And don't forget about that 29-degree man-sized drafts. It's Twin Peaks at the Patton Creek Shopping Centers.
This hour of The Next Round is brought to you by Excalibur Services, a name you can trust when it comes to residential heating, AC, and electrical services. Excalibur is growing and looking for exceptional HVAC techs, plumbers, and electricians. 205-718-8688. Alabama license number 15214.
Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to Decide to Ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and The Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
A clear look in our Next Round Live Twitter feed brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, LT.
969-8100. Look, I got the procedure done almost 20 years ago. Dunaway, you're laughing. My almond. I got almond dust.
Rolled him right into that one, Dunaway.
And you got almonds right in your mouth, too.
Yeah, I do. Anyway, 20 years ago, I got the procedure done almost. 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. Hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson truly changed my life. 2015 vision, better than 2020. If you're sick of the eyeglasses, the contacts, now is the time to stop procrastinating. Make the call that I made, 969-8100 or online, michelsonlaservision.com.
I love how laid back you are today. You're casually dressed after a big Dodger win. You're eating almonds in the start of the segment. You
almost got a beer.
You didn't even know what you were doing, I don't think. You just, out of comfort, you're like, when you're asking your question to Wimp, you're like pouring your water. It's like the water's being poured there. It's like, It's like, I thought it was like the sort of Bama and Bourbon, because don't you do that at Bama and Bourbon too?
Yeah. We got a new episode up right now.
That's up now.
Your first question is always you pouring the bourbon into the glass. Becomes habit for me.
You and Aaron liked that Old Forester,
We
didn't
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you just gave away the bourbon. That's one of the reasons I watch Bama and Bourbon, to be surprised about what they open up.
It's on the description.
It is.
Okay.
And it's on the little thumbnail you click on to
But
get
I
the
suggest
video.
I'm getting way too comfortable drinking bourbon neat at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Is there a way you double back and sue Double Down Media if you have a drinking problem?
No.
He better not.
Yeah. I think you guys probably could, probably in Discovery could find out that there was an issue before. Yeah, I don't think this is something that's come to come to light the last couple of months.
All right. Interesting comments in our next round feed, by the way. Kellen, back to Little Kiss, because I used to book the bands for our fraternities when I was at the University of Alabama. I always wanted to invite Little Kiss, but never pulled the trigger there. He was always looking forward to bringing them to town.
I wonder what they would call. I bet they're, what, 15 grand, Rocky?
He said they're a Music Garden client, or they were a Music Garden client.
Look.
I bet they're 15 grand.
I bet you can get them for, is it 4 of them? I bet you'd get them for 2 each, $6,000, $8,000.
We are going to. It's
You've
called.
also got, they seem like they've got a little more detail, and they would probably have some roadies.
It's called Mini Kisses. They've got some acts. I'm looking at their calendar right here. They got 5 acts in October.
I see minimum fee $2,500 to $7,500.
All right, let's don't kid ourselves. We're going to do a 1-year anniversary party.
I'm not a big Kiss fan. That was my first concert ever. I do not like Kiss.
Love Kiss songs, though.
Would we want to hire Mini Kiss
No.
for the next round? Don't just say no, Lance. Think through this.
I'm thinking through it.
I would like to hire Better Than Ezra to open up for somebody.
I wonder what you get
To
better
open
than
up for somebody.
Well, that wouldn't be insulting
Let's
at all.
do you too then.
Well, we all know we all know Ariana Grande is going to be the main act that night.
Like Better Than Ezra's going to open for somebody. I think they're big enough to be the headline for that. Are we going to do a festival?
I don't know what we're going to do.
Just don't call it stock. Please don't call it stock.
Next round stock?
Yeah,
We've
please
got Better Than Ezra. They have great ties with walk-ons.
They do. That's the one place you've seen them in concert.
Maybe for our kickoff party next year, instead of our anniversary party, our kickoff party would be Better Than Ezra.
This is why you've never had money done away. You already spend it before you have it.
We should arrive in Teslas. That'd be cool.
Don't we
still have to drive then? Just hold our hands up.
Ezra. Let's just go on.
What do you imagine?
We have no cash at all, but let's go on and piss away $10,000.
You think that's what it would cost for Better Than Ezra?
Oh, at least.
Well, you overshot. You doubled what it cost for Mini Kisses.
Well, I just thought they were such a unique act. I didn't know how big they were, but I mean, Better Than Ezra's got a pretty good track record.
They do. 30 years ago.
Yeah, but I bet they're at least 10 grand, 10 to 15, 20 maybe.
I'm getting around 40.
40 grand for
okay.
Better Than Ezra?
I'm just at this one site.
Yeah, I remember running through the wet grass.
Oh, my God.
That's my favorite song.
I know it is, but why did you say that?
Because.
What's that song title?
That's
Wouldn't it make more sense that Rocky plays the kickoff party?
I'll do it for 20. I'll meet y'all in the middle.
Part of our show today being brought to you by the great folks at Gutter Cap. It's that time of year to cap those gutters. The leaves are falling. We'll have top 5 NFL teams after LT tells us about Gutter Cap.
Look, it's a dirty, dangerous job. One thing you don't want to do is get out the ladder and get on the roof. You fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Do what I did years ago. Call Chris Stewart at Gutter Cap, 823-2212. Right now, for all of the next round listeners and viewers, 45% off for the retail price for December installations. Call Chris Stewart today. Almost a 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. GutterCapBirmingham.com or call C-Stu now, 823-2212.
The Cardinals are the only undefeated team. Am I right about that?
And they're numero uno.
You put them number 1.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the Cardinals are the best team in the league.
They are right now, yes.
Yeah, I think they are right now. Dunaway. You know, I wonder how different the perception would have been if the Vikings make a 38-yard field goal, and
it would have been different.
They're 5-1 instead.
Still a good team, though. I mean, I look at their road wins.
Yeah, I look at how they beat people.
Yeah,
and
they smoked Tennessee, they smoked the Rams, and they smoked the Browns.
Are they not your number one?
No, I mean, the Rams, you're talking about just looking at the standings. Yeah, they're the only unbeaten team. Who do I think is the Super Bowl favorite right now? It is the Rams. The Rams are the better
but
team.
We've seen these two teams on the field.
It wasn't even
recently,
close.
and it wasn't even close. Cardinals destroyed them.
Do you think it would be that way if it was a playoff game?
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't know how you're seeing. The Rams haven't played a full 60 minutes yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, but until they do, I don't know how you can consider them the best team.
This is the best the Cardinals will be. This is it. This is the best they will be.
They're about to add Zach Ertz at tight end. They're getting better at it.
The Rams have got a borderline, in my opinion, elite quarterback when he's on. The Cardinals have a quarterback that is so dynamic, nobody else can touch right now in the league. Pat Mahomes is dynamic on his own, Lamar Jackson, but Kyler Murray brings that kind of dimension.
Can you imagine
Cardinals
how much
team.
better DeAndre Hopkins is going to be with Zach Ertz at tight end? I mean, that's scary to think about, isn't it?
I mean, they've got a ton of weapons.
They really do.
Are the
Rondale
Cowboys
Moore's going to get better and better.
Are the Cowboys in your top 5?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How close to the top?
They're number 5.
Number 5, so barely in your top 5. I put them at
they're
number
my top 5.
I put them at number 3 right now.
Yeah,
are the Buccaneers in your top 5?
Yes, absolutely.
Not
They are
for you.
mine. Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean
Jim.
it's borderline for me because their secondary is so horrible right
Yeah,
now.
I would
They're
have
so
had them 6th or
injured.
7th.
Yep.
Yeah, I have them about 5 or 6 there. The Packers.
I would have them 6 or 7.
Yep.
Okay. Is the highest rated AFC team.
Buffalo.
The standings is the Ravens, but it's the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, I've got Arizona 1, Buffalo 2, Baltimore 3, Rams, Cowboys.
See, I don't have the Ravens in
Hey,
my top 5.
Real quick
the
on
Ravens are
Buffalo.
good.
We didn't quite get to this yesterday. Would you have gone for that 4th down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have too, 100%.
Yeah, and again, I would have Buffalo at number 1 if they would have gotten that touchdown. But because they've got 2 losses, Arizona's undefeated, I think it's hard to put Buffalo over Arizona. I am starting to think that we might see – the only thing I can't picture is Cliff Kingsbury getting to a Super Bowl.
It does seem weird, doesn't it?
Everything else makes sense. And right now it seems like we're going to have a Arizona-Buffalo Super Bowl early on, but injuries can happen.
Yeah, I don't put the Ravens up there despite their record. I think the Bills are the best team, and I think you got to start putting some respect on the Titans' name with what Derrick Henry is doing with that team. I think the Titans are right around with the Buccaneers at that 5, 6, 7 for me.
They lost to the Jets. Don't trust the Titans at all.
Yeah, the show being brought to you in part by our friends at Greystone Chiropractic today. Coming up in our next segment, Chris Doering of the SEC Network will be part of that.
Dr. Lee Goldenberg, right there off Highway 280 and 119 Tattersall Park is where you find Greystone Chiropractic. Once you get that spine aligned, it helps your nervous system, which controls every cell, tissue, and organ in your body. So go get that spine properly aligned and enjoy a healthier life now with Greystone Chiropractic. GreystoneChiropractor.com, 205-981-8090 for an appointment. GreystoneChiropractor.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Suffering from an old sports injury? Or tweak a joint being a weekend warrior? Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics may be able to reduce or eliminate your knee, hip, or shoulder pain, increase your mobility, and get you back in the game. From pediatrics to geriatrics, appointments are available at 9 convenient locations affiliated with Brookwood Baptist Health. Call Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics at 855-219-6200 or visit precisionsportsortho.com.
Fall weather is the best time to be on the golf course, and Jerry Pate's design at Timberline will not disappoint. The course is in fantastic condition, and if you don't have time for a round of golf, come use Timberline's TrackMan driving range. You can practice, play games, and play virtual golf all on the practice tee. Come enjoy your day on one of Alabama's top 10 courses you can play. It's Timberline Golf Club. Timberline is easy to get to just off I-65 at exit 228. Book tee times online at timberlinegc.com. Tee it up at Timberline.
Hey, for the best pizza in Birmingham for lunch or dinner, make it Slice. Go see the Bajalia brothers, Jeff, Jason, and Chris. Slice Pizza and Brew is as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. 2 great locations, Lakeview and Vestavia.
Iron Mountain Construction is an industrial services company with over 500 people available for your situation and needs. They are committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through their execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget small capital construction work. And they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Take a second to listen to me. Do you have problems sleeping? Is your energy down? Your workouts not the same? Is your libido down? Your problem could be as simple as low testosterone. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution. You can come in, get a medical consultation and blood work. If medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. Set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website alabamamensclinic.com. Another side effect could be depression, and most men wait a year or longer before ever getting tested. The goal line to better sleep, more energy, a rekindled love life, and more may be as simple as getting your low T checkup at Alabama Men's Clinic. Located in Birmingham to serve you. The number again, 205-598-7000 or one click at alabamamensclinic.com. That's alabamamensclinic.com.
This hour of The Next Round is brought to you by Excalibur Services, a name you can trust when it comes to residential heating, AC, and electrical services. Excalibur is growing and looking for exceptional HVAC techs, plumbers, and electricians. 205-718-8688. Alabama license number 15214.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
And this hour of the show brought to you by Champy's World Famous Chicken, home of that Mississippi Delta homemade tamale recipe right there, the best I've ever tasted. Chicken on a stick and all your usual, the po' boys, the tenders, the fried chicken plates with all the great sides. Have it for lunch today or dinner tonight, or pack it up and take it to a game, or sit in front of a TV screen and watch with friends your football this weekend. Nothing like it. Champy'sChicken.com. You can order it online, look at the menu, see what you like, swing by the easy-to-go window. Champy'sChicken.com, proud sponsor since day one of the Next Round. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, and Forrester. We'll talk to Chris Doering coming up in about 10 minutes about what's going on in the SEC. One thing that's going on is the fact that Dan Mullen's seat, it got a little hotter this past weekend. It's our Nut Dust Hot Seat update of the day, brought to you by the great folks at Nut Dust.
Our friends at Nut Dust, redefining the use and feel of body powder. It's talc-free. It's an all-natural body powder. It's great for all over the body. Feet below the belt, available in 4 great scents: Naked, Voyager, Laddie, and Wildling. All day, every day, Nut Dust has got you covered. Remember, go to officialnutdust.com. Put in fall. Promo code FALL, as in the season, FALL. You're going to get a great discount, not only on the Nut Dust, but also the great merchandise like the T-shirts. I think Dunaway had one on the other day. Go to officialnutdust.com and put in fall.
Saturday Down South and others talking after the loss to the dismissed Ed Orgeron and LSU that Dan Mullen assumes the spot on the hot seat in the SEC, the highest profile coach who now is starting to see the sand underneath his feet. wash away.
Matt Hayes, who covers college football for Saturday Down South and has been doing it for quite a while, lives in Gainesville or Orlando, if I'm not mistaken, so he's pretty close to the situation. Here's what he points out about Dan Mullen in an article entitled First and 10, Is Dan Mullen the most overrated coach in America? That's a big statement right there. In America. 2-6 in his past 8 against Power 5 teams. I'll just throw these out. You tell me alarming or not. 2-6 past 8 against Power 5. Hugely alarming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought there was more coming. You want a comment after each one? Yes.
Yes.
2-6
against the last 8 Power 5 teams.
Hallelujah.
Dan Mullen is known most for what? His ability to develop
quarterbacks.
Quarterback guru. Whisper.
As Matt Hayes points out, it's entirely possible he has actually made the wrong choice in his last 2 choices.
Yep.
He was starting
Felipe
Franks in front of Kyle Trask, who ended up being one of the best quarterbacks in Florida history, and starting Emory Jones in front of Anthony Richardson, and now there are a lot of questions about was that even the right decision?
But we'll see. I mean, we don't know how good Anthony Richardson's going to be.
We don't, but that's what Matt's pointing out. I mean, if Richardson pans out, there's a chance he's actually made the wrong choice back-to-back times now.
I wasn't a huge fan of Nick Fitzgerald following up Dak Prescott either.
Who was Fitzgerald was pretty good though.
He was pretty good.
Well, I don't know who the other option was though. Yeah. Who was the other option other than Fitzgerald?
By the way, it was Key Thompson.
Keaton Thompson, who transferred to Virginia, and he's playing receiver, right?
He's my favorite player in football right now. He really is. And I didn't realize that was who it was till this Saturday, and I sent, not to get off on this track, Matt Wyatt a text. But Key Thompson right now, number 99 for Virginia, does everything. He's an incredible receiver playing with a cast on his hand.
Right.
He lines up in the backfield, plays tailback some. Never plays quarterback for him, but he's a great player.
Until they play the Hokies and watch that halfback reverse to the receiver pass downfield.
He is. I mean,
he does it all.
I don't know if you've had an opportunity to watch him play.
I've seen him some,
but I didn't realize that was who it was.
Keaton Thompson, yeah. Versus ranked teams. He has played 13 games as the Florida coach versus ranked teams. What do you think his record is?
6-7.
Games?
I would say that he is 4 and whatever's left in that, 4-9.
6-7. Lance was right. And as Matt Hayes points out, if you just want to compare him against his contemporaries, right? The coaches that are in the same zip code financially, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Jimbo Fisher, Ed Orgeron, he's coached 10 games against them. What do you think his record is?
That record is...
Oh, I think I know it. I think it's 1-9.
I think it's 2-8.
It is 2-8.
Yep.
And as he points out, I mean, all right, let's just compare him against those guys. So who he's being paid with, and he's 2-8 against those guys at Florida. It's not like he's got a lesser school. He's at Florida.
I think Dan Mullen, propped up by some because he did more with less in Starkville.
Yeah, but I think.
But what's he doing with the Florida job?
I brought this up. I guess it was last week. Year one, he won 10 games, which was better than what Florida had before that.
Okay.
Then he won 11 games, which is an improvement. Then last year, he won the SEC East. I understand he had 4 losses. Now, 2 of those losses, a tight loss to Alabama, then nobody showed up for the bowl game.
Jim McElwain won the SEC East how many times?
Twice.
It was a different SEC East.
It was.
Was it?
I mean, you didn't have Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the difference. Georgia wasn't Georgia yet.
It was a different SEC East.
He won one big game last year. It was against Georgia.
But will you guys give me, although they lost 4 games, that was a better team than he had the first 2 years.
Did they beat Georgia last year?
They did.
Yeah. They won
that's how they won the East.
Yeah, that's how they won the East. Yeah.
So I thought they've gotten better every year up until this year, and it looks like, the last 10 games have been a terrible sample.
Keep in mind, the cocktail party was the end of the Stetson Bennett run last year. And they went to JT Daniels right after that game and finished out the season, and Stetson is now back because of Daniels' injury.
Speaking of choosing wrong quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, Kirby has a long history of that. I don't think anybody would argue that one with Kirby Smart.
3 losses this year, 4 losses last year, 2 losses and 3 losses in his time there. Back to Mississippi State, 4 losses, 7 losses, 4 losses, 3 losses, 6, 5, 6, 4, 7.
I am willing to submit right now. I am willing to submit that you are correct, Dunaway, and you have been correct all this time. I gave Dan Mullen too much credit. I have been wrong on Dan Mullen. I am willing to admit that, and I don't know if Lance will, but I will. I am wrong on Dan Mullen.
Not a bad coach.
No, but not what I have made him out to be.
Not a bad coach.
When he took the job, I thought he would win a national championship. In his first 3 years, he showed me a guy that might win a national championship. Again, I don't keep up with recruiting. I don't know where they are in recruiting. I'm not sure. I think it makes it easy for you to say, Brown, because you don't like him anymore. He's a very unlikable guy now.
He is unlikable, but I am wrong about him as a coach. I propped him up with a degree of difficulty ranking for what he did at Mississippi State, and now that he has a premier job, he's not handled it well. I mean, Matt Hayes just gave you the numbers. Those numbers are hard to argue against.
I mean, it's hard to believe they're 4-3 right now, and again to lose
about to be 4-4.
I do think things would be a lot different if you took the LSU losses away. I know you can't do it.
You can't.
But if you pull these LSU losses away, they're still ranked this year. Last year, you go back. It's not a 4-loss team.
No, Orgeron has owned him. That's the weird thing. Orgeron has owned Dan Mullen.
And he's 2-2 against Kentucky.
Yeah, which they had won 27 straight before he took that job against Kentucky.
Okay, he's a B coach.
But that's not bad. I mean,
no, it's not bad.
B coaches are really good. Dan Mullen's a good coach.
And could he be this too? Could he also be a coach that does better with less? Like, we never know if Bill Snyder would have done good with an elite program.
No, you're right. There are
Matt
some guys.
Campbell, we don't know. I mean, sometimes, maybe Dan Mullen was just better in a Mississippi State situation.
And not to come to Dan's defense, but in this league, in the SEC, when you have so many programs that have everything that is committed to winning, that having years where you lose 3 games or 4 games are going to be common. How do you handle that, and how do you prevent from being that in back-to-back years? Like what's happening at Clemson this year, right? It seems, nobody really thinks Dabo Swinney or Tony Elliott or Brent Venables not the same guys they were last year or the year before.
It's an atypical, strange year.
Right. I mean, actually, Venables is doing the best coaching he's ever done now, probably.
So if you're Dan Mullen, you plug the holes and you churn along, right? You don't get on the slippery slope that he seems to be getting on. And I think part of that starts with the personality of how you treat the people in the football complex and your bosses, Scott Strickland and people like that. And that's where I think maybe the disconnect started with Dan. I think Dan Mullen started losing the PR game last year, which can get you started down a path where you end up being discussed about being overrated.
Well, Chris Doering is with us, former Florida Gator, and we didn't bring him on to talk about Dan Mullen. It just happened that's the discussion we had before Chris. He's with us on the Pepsi Hotline, but you make your home there, Chris. You played at Florida. Are the Gator fans a little restless with Dan Mullen right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some, but I don't say majority, but a part of the fan base that has been vocal about the lack of production. And when I say production, you can't say wins necessarily, because he took over a 4-7 ball club and took them to 3 straight New Year's Six bowl games. I think the fear has been something that's discussed amongst the folks on social media and on the internet about recruiting. And Dan Mullen has not necessarily cared in the past about recruiting rankings. Is not worried about evaluations of other people. It's more about what he sees as the right fit for his schemes and for the culture that he's created. And that hasn't necessarily translated to the top recruiting classes every year. And so I think now you're seeing maybe the losses being a little more frequent than what it's been the last couple of years, and now people are projecting that it's because of the inability to recruit the top level talent. And I'm not as concerned about it at certain positions. The 2 positions that I might be most concerned about it, though, would probably be the defensive line, because I think Florida's seen a significant drop off in defensive line talent. The tradition on Florida's defensive line is one that puts a lot of guys in the NFL, very aggressive, penetrating, sizable, athletic players up front, and Florida doesn't necessarily have that right now, and I think it's manifested itself into a lot of the issues that Florida has had defensively the last couple of years. And I think at quarterback, I mean, you're looking at right now one of the big issues being with figuring out who to go with Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson, and when you're in the state of Florida, the University of Florida, the flagship university of the state, you should probably be able to have the pick of the litter of top quarterback recruits. And I don't know that Dan Mullen has necessarily targeted a lot of those guys. And I think that's frustrated some of the fans and really question what Florida is doing and their ability to get some of the top talent, both in the state and nationally as well.
Yeah, Chris, I believe if Kyle Trask was on this team right now, they're probably 7-0. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. That Alabama game was a 2-point game. They would have won against Kentucky. They would have beaten LSU, but that's not the case. It's Emory Jones. It's Anthony Richardson. Neither one of those guys really jumps out to me. I think they're both good. I don't know if they're ever going to be elite. But if you're Dan Mullen, who do you ultimately start October 30th in the cocktail party?
Well, the reason that you've been going with Emory Jones is because he's been around the program for 3 or 4 years now, knows the system, was brought up behind Kyle Trask, learned how to prepare from Kyle Trask, learned how to approach the game from Kyle Trask, and you felt like he was going to be a natural transition, albeit very different quarterback than Kyle Trask, as you alluded to. And this is let's not misconstrue things here. This offensive line, this offense has been very productive. One of the top teams in the country when it comes to running the football after not being able to run whatsoever the last 3 seasons. So they've been very productive with the style of play, using a more mobile quarterback. But the reason that you've had Emory Jones in there is because you feel like he gives you the best opportunity to win by checking to the right plays at the line of scrimmage, sliding the right protections, being able to target the right, going through his progressions, that Anthony Richardson may not have that ability. Now, when you go out to Baton Rouge and you throw 2 interceptions and you give up, a pick 6, like those things now offset what you may benefit from, having a more veteran guy in this offense. So the higher upside is certainly Anthony Richardson. And that's why with 3 losses already in the conference, I think it might be time to transition to the guy that may have more mistakes right now. You may have to deal with more growing pains, but in the end has more upside as the more athletic, more gifted, all-around talented quarterback.
Chris Doering is with us on the Pepsi hotline. Pepsi bringing you part of the next round every day and all of our guests. And I ask you, Chris, do you send a snapshot of you having to dress up in your cute little outfit this week to Dan Mullen to say, "Hey, come on, Coach, man, let's get going. I don't want to dress up like this anymore."
3 years in a row. I mean, we're not talking about a one-off here. We're talking about 3 years in a row where my alma mater has been a double-digit favorite the last 2 years. So not only has it been painful, but it's been unexpected. And watching that game play out, even though it was unexpected for me to have to dress up in that ridiculous outfit, it was more unexpected that that LSU was able to beat Florida and to beat them the way they did. Stopping the run the way they did. Florida not attacking earlier in the game when you're down Stingley and Ricks in the secondary. And most surprisingly, one of the worst teams in the country when it comes to running the football, over and over again running that counter play. I think it was 14 times they ran the counter, and just Florida could not adjust, could not stop it. And you talk about adding insult to injury. When a team knows what you're going to do and you can't stop it anyway, it's completely demoralizing. So I just, having to watch that play out the way that it did was extra painful for me.
I want you to be head coach Kirby Smart going into the game a week from Saturday, the cocktail party. And you get 100% clearance on JT Daniels. He's making all the throws in practice. He's 100% cleared to play. What do you do at quarterback to start that game?
Well, I don't want to bail out on this, but I do think there's a lot that us as media members, as fans, don't know. The opportunity to watch in practice every single day, who looks more prepared, who's able to translate, what you're taking from the game plan in the meeting rooms out there on the practice field. And maybe most importantly, who's able to elevate the play of the teammates around him. I think that's one of the things that I've seen from Stetson Bennett that I've, kind of remarked about is just how the other guys on that team have responded to him. And I can actually relate fairly well to Stetson Bennett's story. Myself growing up here in Gainesville, being a lifelong Gator fan, my parents both going to Florida. All I wanted to ever do was play wide receiver for the Gators. And so I walked on and followed that dream. And it always meant a little bit more to me. And I look at Stetson kind of the same way as the guy that had to walk on, left and came back, got his opportunity, got sat on the bench last year after the Alabama second half, still hung around despite being able to possibly transfer and go play elsewhere. And the love for the university, love for the Bulldog program, I think is evident to the rest of the teammates in that huddle. And I think they play extra hard for him. Now, with that being said, do I think that JT Daniels is the more talented guy? I do. And let's not forget, the last time we saw JT Daniels in Nashville, the first 5 possessions, they looked as efficient of an offense as you possibly could look going up and down the field with him throwing the football. Now, I know the defense of Vanderbilt's not one of the most imposing in the country, but, they looked pretty good with him at the helm too. So I don't have enough of the information to gather and make an educated decision, but I do think at the end of the day, I think there's more upside with JT Daniels than there is Stetson Bennett. But what a luxury to have 2 starting quarterbacks on your roster when a lot of teams in this country don't even have one.
Chris Doering, SEC Network, with us for a few more moments. A reminder, for more than a century, Alabama Power and its employees have served our state. That's not all. Alabama Power works closely with the Salvation Army to support Project Share, which helps those in need with their utility bills. Learn more at alabamapower.com/community. Alabama Power, power for a better Alabama. If you were to build a team right now that could take advantage of a Georgia weakness, what would you build? Either side of the ball, you see a Georgia weakness, what type of team can beat Georgia?
You got to have explosive plays. You know, I've talked about that on our show a couple weeks in a row with teams not being great matchups for Georgia's defense because they don't have the ability to stretch the field. You know, the touchdown drive that Kentucky had before half was kind of shocking to me. It got them back in the game, but I want to say they went 13 plays in 75 yards in about 6 minutes. Like you're not typically able to sustain drives against Georgia now, and I am 100% certain after watching what they did to Kentucky's offense that you can't line up and just run the ball at them. So Liam Cohen had some nice play designs where you saw some misdirection. But at the end of the day, you have to have guys that can stretch the field and take advantage of what I think is, if there is any deficiency, it would be the secondary and their ability to play the ball in the air. We've seen a number of teams, including South Carolina early in the season, go make one-on-one plays because the defensive backs didn't necessarily find the ball in the air as well as they probably could. So that would be what it would be, was, you know, a team that uses some misdirection, that uses some motion, some eye candy stuff to try to confuse Georgia, maybe slow them down a little bit, but that can also stretch the field and hit some big plays in the passing game.
Trendy question, but also difficult question. Who is the third best team right now in the SEC?
I mean, I've been on this Ole Miss train the entire season. It burned me, as you guys know, there in Alabama when I predicted that the Rebels would beat Alabama.
We heard about that, yes.
Yeah, you may have heard about that. But I will say this. I was not wrong about the deficiencies that I saw in Alabama's team, particularly on defense. It was just the wrong team that took advantage of it. So I do think that I am a fan of this Ole Miss team. Matt Corral has been my preseason Heisman winner. It's done nothing to change that opinion right now. And I think you're seeing that the defense made some plays the other day. I was surprised, how well they were able to get after Hendon Hooker and rush the passer, 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hurries in total. So I think that probably is the team that I look at, although I do look at some deficiencies defensively. I do think that when you have the offense that can run the ball and score at will the way that Ole Miss can, it can overcome some of the deficiencies they may have on defense.
At Chris Doering on Twitter, at CDoering28 on IG, and you can see him on the SEC Network. I sent a really cool saying IG on Instagram. You can see him on the SEC Network and ESPN. Hear him on Sirius XM Radio with our boy Bernsey as well. Chris, thank you for the time, man. Always great.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Talk to
you bet.
Bye-bye.
That is Chris Doering with us on the Pepsi Hotline.
Always love talking with him, and when they dress up.
Bernsey's killed him.
He has. He's made him dress up now several times. I'm going to have to check Tom's situation here in the commercial break. Tom, in our Farmfolio chat room over there, says, go check out how many Power 5 opponents that Dan Mullen scheduled while at Mississippi State. He says 2 in 11 years, and he lost both of those.
I can look at that.
So obviously you're given your SEC schedule.
Right.
So let's check in the commercial break how many Power 5 games he had outside of the SEC games that were on his schedule, not counting bowl games and everything, because those are out of them as well. Things that you had in the regular season that you were able to win. Part of our show being brought to you by the great folks at Backyard Adventure. Listen, as a dad, you want your kids to have the best life, right? That includes the best time in your own yard. Listen, stop packing up that car or truck and driving to the municipal park or down the street or to the church park. Just bring the park to your backyard with our friends at Backyard Adventures Playgrounds, Backyard Adventure Playground. I'm an alumni of Backyard Adventure. I will tell you that it was the best purchase I ever made because the price point is great. And from the time my kids were, I think, 6 and 2 at the time, until they were driving, they enjoyed the Backyard Adventure in our backyard. Just year after year, every spring, every summer, just a great experience in the backyard. And kids in the neighborhood came by. And when it was all said and done, the folks from Backyard Adventure, not only did they set it up, they maintained it. And when it was time to get rid of it, they came and took it away. That's what Backyard Adventure does for you. The quality is unbelievable, 100% cedar. It comes with a lifetime warranty. They do it all. They set it up for you. They even landscape it. They've got trampolines and basketball goals as well. BackyardAlabama.com, BackyardAlabama.com, or call them 205-408-4FUN. That's 205-408-4386, or simply online to take your first step in making your kids happy with BackyardAlabama.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. As you guys know, the team at Hempel Services are my go-to guys for all things heating and cooling. Recently, a unit went out in the house. Of course, Hempel were the guys I called. Always professional, always courteous. Hempel Services, they've been serving Birmingham since 1954. They're who Birmingham trusts. They're who I trust to do the job right and at a fair price. Hempel Services, independent train dealer, and they service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Do what I do. Call Hempel Services. It's hard to stop a train. Do it now. 205-229-2090. That's 229-2090.
Greystone Chiropractic and their brand new facility in Tattersall Park is the premier family wellness office in Birmingham. Dr. Lee Goldenberg is committed to helping families unleash their unlimited healing potential naturally in a beautiful and stress-free environment. Voted best in Birmingham 3 years in a row, nominated for Shelby County Healthcare Provider of the Year. What sets Dr. Goldenberg and Greystone Chiropractic apart? Their attention to detail, their thorough approach with patients, and their excellent customer service. I trust my family with Dr. Goldenberg. You can too. Visit GreysstoneChiropractor.com or call 981-8090. I want my lawn to look better than anybody else's on my street. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Here's one problem. I play a lot of golf, but I'm not a greenskeeper. It's why I depend on my friends at Wayne's. And now is the time to make sure your lawn is properly prepared to grow healthy and lush when spring rolls around. Let the lawn professionals at Wayne's set you up for success as your lawn enters dormancy for the winter season. I depend on them for my lawn. You should too. Get Wayne's treating your lawn now so it looks great in the spring. 866-WAYNES-1. That's 866-WAYNES-1.
Ship happens. Give us a call to get Ship started. Call Griffin and Jeff today, 205-605-8101. You can always go online. Go to getshipstarted.com.
Ship happens to get ship done. Don't ever have an accident. Ship yourself. Don't ever have an accident. Ship yourself.
Go to getshipstarted.com. When it came to furnishing the new facilities here at the Next Round, there was only one call we made, and that was to Richie Hamer at Business Interiors right here in Birmingham. Richie and Business Interiors have a true passion for interiors and the talent to bring the client's vision to life. Through their vast selection of great designer furniture, Richie and BI will stop at nothing to make the experience great for the client. Repeat clients trust Richie and Business Interiors because he does what he says, and the guys will deliver on their promises. Leave it to Richie and Business Interiors to incorporate creativity into every space in your corporate setting. To set up an appointment, call Richie today. 205-837-2497. That's 205-837-2497. Or just go visit Richie at the BI showroom today. They're located 2309 5th Avenue South in Birmingham. Again, the entire studios here at the Next Round furnished by our friends at Business Interiors. Go see them today, 5th Avenue South in Birmingham.
There's not a better place to watch the big games with a great atmosphere than right there at Walk-Ons, Highway 280 and 119, and coming soon near the Hoover Met. The Walk-Ons happy hour is 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. You can download the Walk-Ons mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh from scratch. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-Ons.
The Double Down Media Podcast family is live, including the Mystery Fifth Hour, a chance for the Next Round host to talk everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, the weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours of bourbon in the world. And the Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. Lance Taylor takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Our friends at Ship Happens brings us the show, and a lot of things that we talk about here on the show. We have, product placement. Those mugs, you find yourself forgetting what you have on your mug sometime when you roll out. I'm sitting at church the other day.
Yeah, drinking out of a Ship Happens mug.
Yes, and you get a double take when people look over at you, and you're like, oh, and I'm like, it says ship happens, and it's anywhere.
Hey, in today's ever-changing market, your supply chain, it's a major factor in maintaining and growing relationships with your customers. Safe, on-time, and affordable shipments, they are crucial. With over 20 years combined experience in relationships, Jeff and Griffin at Ship Happens, they've got the ability to get ship done. From LTL, van, flatbed, heavy haul, and expedited, Ship Happens, ready to bring a solution to all of your transportation problems. Don't have an accident and ship yourself. Call the guys at Ship Happens, 205-605-8101.
Tom in the Farmfolio chat room is all over Dan Mullen. Says, quote, guy's a fraud, period.
I didn't realize he brought up the Power 5 scheduling in his 9 years at Mississippi State. He played 3 Power 5 non-conference games. That's pretty incredible. And these are non-bowl games, obviously, regular season. Now, I will say he probably inherited his first 3 schedules, you'd have to think. So all the ones that scheduled, he at least scheduled under his watch. They played Oklahoma State to start the 2013 season, neutral site Houston, lost 21-3, and then they played a home-and-home with BYU. I think most people consider BYU a Power 5. They certainly are now going to the Big 12.
They split those?
Lost in double overtime, and Provo won at home in 2017. That was 16-17. Furthermore, in his time at Florida, we're now in year 4. I can't remember what they actually had scheduled for last season that got wiped because of the all-conference schedule. So I can't entirely throw him under the bus for this. But outside of Florida State, which he has to play every year, he's scheduled 1 Power 5 non-conference, and that was Miami, neutral site Orlando. A couple years ago, they won 24-20. He does not schedule a lot of Power 5 out-of-conference games.
Now, is this somebody texted me in break and talking about his time at Mississippi State? Maybe you guys mentioned this when I ran out real quick. He only had 1 winning record in the SEC.
I can look at that real quick.
No, I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, he really did. It was 2014. They went 6-2. He's got
some 4-4s.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 4-4s. Now that's Mississippi State. It's in the West.
That's
so
really
is that
not
a big
that bad.
deal?
No,
Yeah,
I mean, that's not that bad.
But I think this is all the stuff that I kept trying to bring up when back in the old days.
I said I was
when
wrong.
we would have the discussion about him and how you guys were grading him, and as people keep pointing out, Brooks and Jack and Tom and everyone over there that he would be, yes, highly ranked when he would get to the part of the schedule where he would play really good opponents, usually Alabama, and that's when the season would start to fall apart.
I still feel better that Dan Mullen will get to a college football playoff before Lane Kiffin gets to one.
I think I would agree with that. Probably neither one of them do, though.
Not that that's saying much, but I just know how high you are on.
But now put
Lane
Ole
Kiffin.
Miss in the East and Dan Mullen in the West with his programs, and tell me if you feel the same way.
I still think if I'm a Florida fan, if I could have Dan Mullen or Lane Kiffin, I'd rather have Dan Mullen.
Well, I disagree. Yeah, but we're not going to settle that argument probably ever. JD, couple of people commenting on the LSU job in the Twitter or on Twitter at Next Round Live. He thinks Hugh Freeze is the next coach at LSU and may have been who Wimp was hinting at.
Well, maybe so. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised.
Be fascinating, though, because, there is a little cloud hovering that might kind of pass now that they're going to pay Ed Orgeron in full. But Hugh Freeze comes with baggage. I think Hugh Freeze can coach, and if he can do what he did at Ole Miss, who knows what he can do at LSU.
This hour of the show is always brought to you by the great folks at Champy's world-famous chicken. Sterling and his staff down there guarantee you will enjoy your experience there with the best food, southern staples like that fried chicken plate, unbelievable seasoning with that and all the beautiful sides, the tenders that are perfect for your tailgate. So, too, is the chicken on a stick. If you've never had chicken on a stick, it is delicious. That great, juicy white meat and the peppers and everything that goes with that, and those tamales that are to die for. It's all right there. Highway 119 in Alabaster. It is champyschicken.com. Let's do trash. Rockstar?
Retired Army Lieutenant General Lieutenant. Oh, I'm scared. Well, Joe, are we having Hurtling joining us?
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, there's no place like home. Nobody knows that better than Mortgage Right with locations nationwide. They are the perfect matchmaker to connect you with the home of your dreams. Mortgage Right's team, skilled professionals, has the skills and knowledge to move you in with confidence. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR. Start your home buying journey today. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We start first with The Office. Jim, Pam, Michael, the rest of the Office crew at Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. They've got a new office experience.
Oh, interesting.
This is in Chicago.
Okay.
Now, the office experience.
One of my friends went to this.
Which will open this past Friday. Were they there this past weekend?
Well, I thought they went to it. Maybe they were. When did I see that? You sure it just opened?
It says open this past Friday.
Okay.
Now, they transports fans of the sitcom to Dunder Mifflin. Visitors can fully immerse themselves in the largest official interactive fan experience to date. The experience starts in a recreation of the business park's parking lot. The two-story exhibit features 17 rooms filled with original props and costumes. The spot-on set recreations include the outside of the Scranton Business Park, the main open office, Michael's office, Pam's desk, Ryan's closet, even the annex. General admission starts at $37.50.
I was thinking about the Friends experience. There's one of these for Friends, and one of my friend of mine did that. Yeah.
What is the Friends experience? Central Perk?
Central Perk, the apartments. They've got the apartments set up, stuff like that. Yeah. And I think it's really designed for you to go do selfies and things like that.
You guys familiar with Mark Lohr?
No, off the top of my head.
He's an ex-Walmart exec worth billions of dollars.
Okay.
Now,
so did he marry into that family? Or?
I don't know what his situation is. Rockstar, I mean, I think maybe a lot of other people probably know who this guy is. But anyway, he's got a new vision that he wants to come to fruition. 50,000 residents could be living in utopia by 2030. Now, Lohr, who stepped down as CEO of Walmart's U.S. e-commerce division earlier this year, announced last month that he plans to build a futuristic city known as Tolosa. Now, Tolosa, which gets its name from an ancient Greek word meaning higher purpose, highest purpose, plans to offer its citizens equal access to education, healthcare, and transportation. Residents would get around in autonomous vehicles, and the city would run on renewable energy, Tolosa's website promised.
He's also part owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Is he really?
Yeah.
So you got a basketball
with
team.
A-Rod, right?
Yeah.
Where's this going to be located?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
I don't know if we've got that.
They don't have that yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the tricky part, though. He's got to find a place for
Do
this.
I have to dress in a like outfit as everyone else and wait on a spaceship to come take me there?
Yes, you can drink this Kool-Aid.
Yeah, because it does sound very cult-like.
It really does. He told USA Today the sole purpose of creating a city in the desert, there's a hint, would be so it's owned by the community. Basically, take all the appreciation of the land, give it back to the citizens. Taxes will go back to the city for infrastructure, roads, tunnels, bridges, so everyone would know exactly where their money is going. Now, they say it's an ambitious endeavor. It's also
tend to agree.
an expensive one. The city's website estimated the first phase would cost $25 billion.
And there's 206 phases.
Or if you're counting 8 SoFi stadiums. Now, the total cost of the city is going to surpass $400 billion.
Can I make a point real quick?
Yeah.
It's costing that much, and you mentioned the word taxes. How high do you imagine the taxes are going to be in that city?
Doesn't say, Brown, but pretty high. Now, with the total cost or over $400 billion, it's going to be funded by investors as well as government grants. And this, according to the Tolosa website.
So what's this guy's name?
Mark Lohr.
So Mark has got to have 10 friends who have 10 friends.
No doubt.
Who have 10 friends.
Yep.
Now, settlers, quote, settlers of the city would be chosen via a selection process focused on diversity and inclusion, he said. He's working to determine the criteria with the help of a team and staff and volunteers that include architects, economists, engineers, and climate experts.
Good clean read for you here, Rockstar. They never put a shovel in the ground for this city.
Really? You don't believe so?
It's good clean read.
Oh, would you guys want to be part of this?
Negative.
No. I mean, can I only mate inside of Tolosa, or are they going to be able to leave and date outside, or you can only...
I'm telling you, man, I saw that cult,
like that you called it
and
mating.
I forgot what it is. Rockstar, did you ever see the documentary on Netflix, and it was the cult up in Oregon, and they all wore like pink or beige?
The sex cult kind of thing? Was it just...
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of that going on. Gosh, I forgot the name of this.
This sounds a little bit like...
It was a crazy documentary, though, on Netflix.
I can't say the name of the Jim Carrey movie that was filmed down at Seaside.
Oh, Truman Show.
Truman Show, yeah. It's got a little feel of that to it. Just basically a city that was built to be a TV set, but everything was alike, and everything was so controlled.
No, this city was built.
Wild Country.
Yeah. See if you can just pull one little shot of this just to show them an image. This is what everybody did. Yeah, Wild Country. And I highly recommend this documentary.
Really?
It is completely insane. This happened in the 80s in Oregon.
Right?
Yeah, that was the
That
dude.
guy was crazy.
That was the guy that was their prophet.
Right.
But everybody dressed like that, and it was a city that they did all the farming and everything.
Huh.
And I mean, it was massive. I forgot how big the community got, but thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
That just
The
doesn't
FBI
appeal.
finally got involved.
Doesn't appeal to me.
No. Okay, we got a Salt Lake man was arrested Saturday after police say he used his wheelchair as a bulldozer to break into his ex-wife's apartment while swinging a hatchet.
Oh, that's a lot going on there.
That is a trifecta.
Yes, it is.
Saturday evening, Juan Manjuya, 56, used a hatchet to gain entry into his estranged wife's apartment, according to the police booking affidavit. When the homeowner opened the door to see what was happening, Manjuya used a 400-pound battery-operated wheelchair as a bulldozer to force the door open, push his way into the apartment. Now, the resident and his legal cohabitant wife tried to keep Manjuya from forcing his way inside, but they could not close the door nor move his wheelchair, adding that while he said he was swinging a hatchet and saying, "I'll kill you." Now, one of the victims sustained injuries during the aggravated assault while attempting to disarm the attacker of his hatchet. The altercation only stopped when he was disarmed, subdued, and the joystick was used to reverse the wheelchair out of
Put
the
it in
apartment.
reverse, Terry.
Lord, what are you doing?
That's one of my
Back
favorite.
it up, Terry.
That's one of the greatest videos of all time.
It is. Put it in reverse.
Terry.
Now, officers located the defendant, who lives in the same complex, and said he went to the apartment to collect a debt from his ex-wife and brought the hatchet because it was a family heirloom.
That's of course
that belongs to her, and he wanted to show it to her. According
show
to the
it to her.
The old hatchet. We've got a retail boss has sparked a huge debate online after suggesting workers with new dogs should be given paternity leave.
Dear heavens. Paternity. It's even, the name is the idea is cringy enough. The name is worse.
Roger Wade, founder of Box Park, a chain of pop-up shopping and dining malls, said he was asked by a worker if he could have paternity leave to look after his new puppy. Mr. Wade posed the question to social media users on LinkedIn and received thousands of responses, which people divided on what he should do. A poll attached to his post found that 61% were against the idea of time off to look after a dog. One respondent said the suggestion was proof that the world, quote, has officially gone mad, and added 39% of people actually think it's okay to have time off for having a dog.
Yeah, I would say that I would prefer having Super Bowl Monday off.
That's right.
Before getting paternity
Yeah, I would agree with
leave.
I think ultimately one day that will happen.
That we get paternity leave?
No, I think we will get Super Bowl.
We're very close now. It's almost President's Day. It's only the week before President's Day, right? As it is right now.
Just got to combine it.
Yep.
Here are dinner facts. First one, I mentioned Ariana Grande was going to come up today on
All
Trash.
right.
She has the words "small charcoal grill" tattooed on her hand in Japanese instead of her song Seven Rings due to missing characters.
Small charcoal
That is
grill.
not true.
It is
Yeah,
true.
it's true.
It is not true.
Okay.
Small charcoal grill.
I mean, how do you not get it totally vetted that
Right.
you're making sure you get the right thing
And,
put on
and
the
at
hand?
this point, they would have gone back and corrected it.
Well, you may not be able to.
Well, there's missing characters. You can go back and add characters.
The letters might be too close together. Well, I'm not going to know if it says small charcoal grill. I can't read.
Well, and she's got a small paw, too.
Yeah, she really does. That's pretty fascinating, though.
I don't know if you
Nah,
can
we're
go find
not
her,
gonna
Rocky. She's got a lot of tats. Here's another one. Texas A&M University offers a class on Texas barbecue that teaches the history of barbecue, cooking, flavorings, and seasonings, and different types of barbecue. The class is offered in the fall and is held on Friday afternoons.
It'd be my kind of class.
Yeah,
Sign
I
right
sort
up.
of like that.
Yep.
Did you guys realize that granny style is the most efficient throwing technique for free throws in basketball? The only reason no one does it is because the players are afraid of ridicule.
It's peer pressure, right?
There's still no rule
Rick
against
Barry
it.
tried to teach us that, right?
I still don't think that just doesn't seem like the most effective. Like if Steph Curry went to that, I still think he's going to go 90%.
Well,
free throws.
you have to practice it, obviously, but it's about the soft landing onto the rim and the way the ball bounces and spins.
Go watch Ollie and Hoosiers.
In 1457, another dinner fact, golf was banned in Scotland by King James II because he felt that young men were playing too much golf instead of practicing archery.
Worst king ever.
It remained banned until 1502 when James IV became a golfer himself.
That's my guy right there.
Well,
James IV.
hell.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to play golf. But I would imagine archery was pretty important back then to protect the castle.
And provide food.
That is Trash with LT, brought to you by.
By the way, in the last duel, there's some archers. Life comes at you fast. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they come faster. Looking to refinance with a multitude of trusted professionals behind them. Mortgage Right has got your back. Whether you need a cash-out refi to pay off the debt, make home repairs, or just looking for a lower interest rate, Mortgage Right, they have got the right option for you. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to get started. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Riley recommends Fellowship of Friends to ULT. It was California Compound and Winery when it goes to Weird Cult. Tripp agrees with you. Wild Wild Country is incredible. Jay Price says Granny Style is the most effective free throw. Has no idea why the big men in the NBA and others don't do it. And Nick makes a great point. If that barbecue class was at Jacksonville State right now, Brown would go back and finish his degree.
Would the barbecue class be would it be taught in Spanish?
I can handle that.
I think the biggest question would be, would Brown be the student or the teacher?
Oh, yeah.
If it was a barbecue class.
Master class.
All right. More of the show when we come back. Still to come in the final hour. Our upset alert, Todd Fuhrman, and 3 and Out. This is The Next Round.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. Major situation the other day. Basement and garage flooded. So who did I call? Our friends at Dry Tech Water Restoration. Call them today, 205-637-0143. They were at my house within an hour. They will always respond quickly, and they answer the phone, 205-637-0143. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. No ties to any insurance companies. Go online, mydrytech.com. That's mydrytech.com, or call 205-637-0143. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive. 4 great locations right here in Birmingham. The next time you need one or a set of new tires, do yourself a favor. Stop by, see the guys at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Locally owned and operated with a wide selection of the top tire brands available. The guys there can get you set and get you safely back out on the road. Again, 4 locations in Birmingham, Hoover, Moody, Trustful, and Gardendale. For more information, you can always visit them online. Check them out today, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459.
The seasons have switched to fall, and it's time for you to change your game day wardrobe with our friends at the Pants Store. For the ladies, all the game day fashion, including bodysuits and those booties, plus a wide variety of clear purses that you need for every stadium. For the guys, all the game day accessories, Yeti coolers, Yeti cups, sunglasses, plus your game day wear from Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Taylor and Mick, and the perfect game day hat. It's all at the Pants Store, 5 locations, Crestline, Leeds, Trustville, Tuscaloosa, or Huntsville, and always online at pantsstore.com.
Some things just stand the test of time. Your old truck, an aged bourbon, the memory of your first girlfriend, and a classic pair of Red Wing boots. Fall is upon us, and Red Wing boots are the ones every guy must have. Whether you're on the job site, working in the yard, exploring the trail, or heading out for the evening, Red Wing shoes will have you covered. Certified fit specialists will make sure you get the most comfortable boots with convenient locations in Pelham next to Publix and the new Trussville location between Metro Diner and Taco Mama. Red Wing boots, a classic you can enjoy every day. It is the American dream to buy your own home. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Mortgage Right wants to make that dream a reality with branches across the country. Mortgage Right has all the resources of a nationwide organization while maintaining the charm of a local lender. Mortgage Right makes home buying simple. If you are looking for a quick and caring mortgage experience, Mortgage Right is your go-to lender. Get started by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. Mortgage Right, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Our friends at Redmond Distilling bringing you this part of the show. And again, Todd Fuhrman coming up at the top of the hour. If you're looking for a great cocktail to maybe watch a good television series that's about to come back, Redmond Distilling, I would recommend the Redmond Vodka for the new series, the new season of Ozark. Trailer dropped yesterday.
I have not seen the trailer yet.
I haven't either. Is it a good trailer?
It's an okay trailer, but the date is set, though, January 21st.
Okay.
All right.
Part 1 of season 4.
A lot of good TV coming up. The roommate was pounding some Redmond vodka yesterday watching Game 3 in LCS. Hey, if you're looking for a great vodka, it is local. Their aim, clarity, and taste, color, and smell. It's vodka perfection. Redmond vodka made from corn, which not only makes it gluten-free, also provides that smooth finish. Doesn't have a harsh aftertaste, 8 times distilled, available at your local package store. Stop by the Pink Package store and pick up a bottle, or an ABC store. Fastest growing distillery in Alabama is Redmond Vodka.
Sean Clifford, questionable for Penn State. They're looking at their backup situation. Taquan Robertson or Christian Velo. I don't know his last name. Trying to pronounce it there. They're sharing reps this week in practice for Penn State. Luckily for them, they have Illinois this week, right?
That is the good news.
Right.
And based on
bad roster.
Bielema's comments, they're going against a really bad roster.
The bad news, though, down the stretch here is Penn State's schedule gets really difficult. And everything's in front of this team, and Clifford's status, not the same team without Sean Clifford.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, I think it was Luganville that said if they played that game, I forgot how he phrased it. If they played it 9 times out of 10, they win it 8. They win it 8 and 9. I forgot exactly what he said. Yeah. But I think we all agree that Penn State would have gone on. They would have won that game against Iowa. They are a different team with Sean Clifford. And I know you took them in our draft earlier, but that's the difficult thing about these Big Ten East teams right now. Michigan State, Penn State, Michigan. We really don't know how good they are. And their schedules, they're going to cannibalize each other coming up, and they're playing other difficult games.
Because Penn State still has to play Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State. So that's, the 3 of their last 5 games. So if they don't have a healthy Clifford, I don't think they can win any of those 3.
Cowan Equipment poll questions that we have out for you today. I just sent one. Forget the record. We were discussing the NFL's best teams earlier. If I said to win the Super Bowl right now, you're picking not the Super Bowl, to win the AFC championship right now in the AFC, your pick would be who right now?
I really feel good that it is going to be Buffalo playing Baltimore, and I think Buffalo wins it.
And you say that, and I got to change the Cowan Equipment poll question because I left the Bills out of my choices.
Well, that is a big.
I think I did check it.
That is a
You
significant
didn't put that
exclusion.
ratty Chiefs team on there.
No, you went
No,
Titans, Chargers, Ravens, others.
Yeah, I put the Titans in there.
Yeah, I don't believe
Again,
in the
they
Titans
lost
at
to the
all.
Jets.
Delete that one. Throw it back out there with the take one of those out, and you don't have to do it like on the air in the commercial break.
Well, then you can.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the Titans either. I believed more in the Chargers before the Ravens ran them. I thought the Chargers were a really good team.
So Bills are your answer.
Bills would be I'm with Lance. I think Bills Ravens right now. I mean, through 5-6 games, I go Bills Ravens.
Yeah, that'll be one question. We'll get that corrected out there. The other is, as a fan of the baseball team, I can't pronounce or I can't say because you guys don't want me to. Did the Game 3 loss as a fan of that team make you feel like you're going to lose the series now? How do you think that fan base is feeling right now going to Game 4?
Well, I don't think you can feel great just based on the fact that they've lost 17 of 18 in Dodger Stadium. They've lost 10 consecutive games, and you were 7 outs away with a 3-run lead to take a 3-0, not even a commanding lead, a devastating, almost door-shut lead. Again, in the history of baseball, postseason baseball, only one team's come back from 3-0, and that was the Boston Red Sox in 2004. It just doesn't happen. And even with the Braves as cursed as they are, and now to lose the game in the manner that you lost it, again, I'm not trying to – I do believe the Dodgers are going to win this series now. I'll just say it like that. I don't know how Braves fans feel about it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. But I think that was a turning point.
Well, I think the one thing you take out of the loss, and that was a devastating loss for the Braves, you finally got something out of Freddie Freeman, and that is a good sign for Atlanta.
And Adam Duvall had a nice game.
Duvall was fantastic, but Freeman had been 0 for the series up until that point and had struck out 7 times. And the Braves are still up 2-0. Now you got Freeman 3 or 4 yesterday, and he was, impacting that game.
Well, here's what scares you. You got a bullpen start today for the Braves. And the good news is Charlie Morton, I didn't think he was going to make it out of the second or third the way he pitched in the first inning. Now, he really settled down. And then he, pitched great after that first inning where he gave up 2 runs and left the bases loaded. But now you've got a shaky bullpen start. If you lose that game, you've got a 2-2 series. It becomes obviously a best of 3. And in Game 6 and 7 in Atlanta, you've got Max Scherzer and Walker Buehler. And the Braves have already knocked around both of those guys. What are the chances you do it twice in a series? I'm just saying things after losing last night, they don't look good for the Braves. The Braves still are up 2-1 in this series, but now they flip back from minus 210 favorites in this series to plus 120 underdogs.
Charles, there's a reason why I'm quiet doing these MLB segments. I'm trying not to do to the Braves what I did to them last year. Yeah. I think only a stake bet would do that. I mean, I think I can talk about
them.
You can
talk about them, yeah. Just no predictions or stake bets.
Yeah, exactly. I do. I love the Dodgers, though. I don't think there's any way they can lose this series now. That one win.
I think people are right. Some people have told me, they're like, for whatever reason, Dunaway's upset with you because he doesn't believe this about the Rams. I don't think you believe it about the Dodgers.
No, I really do believe it about the Rams. I was joking about the Dodgers, but I really believe it about the Rams.
Outside of the Tampa Bay game, you've watched the Rams once this year.
No. I see the Rams as much as I see every NFL team.
When they're in the red zone?
Yeah,
when they're in the red zone.
They're in the red zone.
You don't watch the Rams.
In the quad box.
Again.
Sometimes they're in a quad box.
You don't watch the Rams. So.
Yeah, I know I don't. I'm not as emotionally tied to them as you are. They have an unbelievable roster, right? They've got the best defensive player, maybe the best player in the league. And
I'll give you that.
Right.
But there still are other weak pieces around.
Yep.
A'Shawn Robinson has not played good for the Rams. Terrell Lewis, another Alabama kid, has come on, though.
He has.
But you're down a cornerback. Darius Williams, former UAB player, is now on IR.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some holes there.
Yeah, there are holes on every team. I mean, look at what's happening to the Buccaneers in the secondary. Everybody has problems when it comes to injuries. We will talk about the college football slate ahead and some NFL with Todd Fuhrman from the Desert. He's up next.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
Banking is not just about your money. It's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. Brian Brown here from The Next Round. AmFirst was founded for members like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means service that grows and changes with the times to serve you better. Now every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you. So it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the number one priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. America's first federal credit union is federally insured by the NCUA.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app. Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Sometimes it's not just losing the weight, but keeping the weight off. I'm Jim Dunaway, and I told you how Weight of Wellness helped save my life. They helped me lose 45 pounds. They got my blood pressure and cholesterol in check. And now they're helping me keep that weight off throughout the football and holiday season. You can see more online at aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. Every plan is individually designed. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and you get a free consultation. See it all on the website, aplanforme.com. Weight of Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Stay up to date with the Next Round on the website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like The Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from our Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. Nextroundlive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage. That's nextroundlive.com.
Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717. Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa. Has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency.
Nothing to do tonight? Wanna bet? It's nonstop gaming action at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. You'll find the latest and greatest games featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. Wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. And try your luck on our popular sports parlay promotion. Don't miss your chance to win at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Located off I-459, exit 31. Must be 21 or older.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
LTD&B, Rockstar and Forrester here. Todd Fuhrman standing by. Don't forget, Fuhrman's about to tell you about all the college and NFL games that are of interest to him out in Vegas and of interest to us. And when you're going to the stadium to enjoy the games, make sure you're dressed the best you can be dressed, like a champion, with our friends at the Pants Store, pantstore.com. They've got 5 great locations: Crestline, Leeds, Trustful, Tuscaloosa, or Huntsville. Pantstore.com online. All the ladies, you know, anytime you go into a major event, got to have those clear purses. They've got a huge variety and fashion styles of those clear purses for stadium entrance. Also bodysuits, booties, and a whole lot more for the women with fall fashion, and everything you need from a man, whether it's what you're wearing, whether it's your accessories, a Yeti cooler, a cup, sunglasses, whatever, the great game day hat. It's all at the Pants Store. 5 locations: Crestline, Leeds, Trustful, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and at pantstore.com.
On Twitter at Todd Fuhrman, BetTheBoardPodcast.com, and Outkick. He's with us now on the Pepsi Hotline. What is up, Todd Fuhrman? How are you?
I'm doing very well this afternoon, or I guess morning out here, afternoon for you guys. How are things in lovely Birmingham?
It is beautiful here. Great fall weather. And the first game I'm going to ask you about is the way Vegas was built. Looking at games this way. I got a top 10 team traveling on the road in conference. I get it. But they're playing an unranked team, and they're a 7-point underdog. I mean, it's one thing to be an underdog, but a full touchdown underdog to be a top 10 team against an unranked team just really makes no sense.
Well, here's the thing about it. I actually make the game higher than the market does. I have Iowa State a 9.5-point favorite here, but public perception plays such a big role. And when you look at Oklahoma State, they come in fresh off their upset victory against Texas last week. Meanwhile, Iowa State limping in, relatively speaking, at a 4-2 record, having already lost to Baylor and Iowa this season. But when you dig into those box scores, I mean, they kept Baylor and Iowa to less than 300 yards of total offense. They were done in by turnovers and countless mistakes. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State, I think, was pretty fortunate to get through Texas last week. That's a 17-3 football game, and Texas is going in to land what could have been the knockout blow. It turns into a pick six, and suddenly Oklahoma State brimming with confidence before we saw the Cowboys clamp down in the second half. When you look at Mike Gundy's team, the emergence of Jalen Warren has truly given them a featured back. He had 14 carries for 138 yards in the fourth quarter against that beleaguered Texas defense. We've seen the strength of what Oklahoma State's stop unit brings to the table, but this will be a more dynamic test for them, in my opinion, because Breece Hall can run in the inside. You're going to see Brock Purdy open things up over the top. And if Matt Campbell and company want to be considered an elite program, these are games you have to win in your own building in dominant fashion. And I think it's a lay it or don't play it type scenario here, although you do have to respect what Coach Gundy has done, especially against ranked teams since taking over in Stillwater. He's won 16 games also when their program has trailed by 12 or more at some point.
I don't know if you've seen this, but if you include that game with UCLA-Oregon, this is the first time in the history of college football two unranked teams have been favored in the same weekend against top 10 teams. You've got that with UCLA against Oregon as well. UCLA is now at open Oregon -3. It has gone UCLA 1.5. I don't like this Oregon offense at all. I personally like UCLA in this spot. I don't know how you feel about it.
You know, this is a tough game for me because my power numbers make Oregon a slight road favorite, so I understand, you know, why they opened as chalk. I can also understand some of the excitement and enthusiasm about a UCLA team that's looked a little bit more dynamic, especially as DTR has felt comfortable running the offense. You have two very capable running backs who have gone for more than 1,100 yards between them and are going to be quite formidable. But I also get the sentiment that this could be a buy low spot for an Oregon side who's half of its roster or close to it, all hails from Southern California. You look at how lethargic they've been each of the last 2 weeks, a loss against Stanford, a win, of course, on Friday night against Cal that took a late goal line stand. But the X factor there is Joe Moorhead didn't travel to Palo Alto for that game. For the first time since 2010 in the Fiesta Bowl, Moorhead called plays as the OC up from the press box. And Mario Cristobal was pretty outspoken about it, said we weren't able to get our personnel packages in. We couldn't run pace and tempo because Moorhead's responsible for all the signaling on the sidelines. So for all of those reasons, this game will have me on the sidelines. I can understand why you've seen a touch of over money enter the market, but I have no idea who wins the game because I'm not sure what I'm going to get from Oregon on a week-in, week-out basis.
Speaking of not sure what you're going to get, how are you sort of evaluating LSU down the stretch with the Ed Orgeron situation?
It's a difficult situation for a number of reasons. And to be quite honest, my power numbers don't reflect anything that LSU is going to put forth on a week-in, week-out basis. So it's a team, unless there are some intangibles to really be able to take advantage of, that I probably won't be betting on or against going forward. This week, of course, you've seen a little bit of money come in on LSU amid speculation that Matt Corral isn't going to be 100%. Believe he practiced it in a limited capacity yesterday, and you never know if Lane Kiffin is, offering up a little bit of lip service, playing